It happened. Yeah, we did it.
We did it. I did it. Hi, welcome to the RTFM show. I'm your host, Jay. Just kidding.
And I'm
Jay,
Phil.
you're Phil, and I'm Nick. Jay's in the middle of some important businessy stuff, so he's gonna be joining us in a little bit.
He's being a company owner right now.
Yeah, he's doing the business stuff. So yeah, it's just me and Nick for the first half-ish or something of the show. But yeah,
Supposedly.
it's gonna be interesting. It's been a crazy freaking 2 weeks for, especially for Jay, but for me and Nick too. We've been just my brain is just all over the place.
This train finally had brakes. It's been going for 2 weeks straight.
It's it's always jet lag's always worse when you're coming back versus going there.
Definitely.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because you're I'm hyped for going to where you're going, but yeah, I don't know. It's always so bad when I come home.
It's because I feel like it's because we got to get back to the normal routine versus when you're traveling. It's you got the excitement of an unfamiliar place.
Yeah.
And then it's you get to explore a little bit and get your bearings. So you're in a hurry to get settled in.
Plus for me, it's also if I'm on a work trip, then I kind of just don't expect to have proper sleep. So so it's because I'm not expecting proper sleep, then I'm not mad when, I have to wake up at 5 a.m. or whatever at a call time. But then when I get home, it's just I guess I have to actually try to sleep on time and everything.
Yeah.
Somebody said someone left Jay in the dryer too long.
Good Lord.
Yeah, he shrunk. That's funny. Yeah, so for the people that missed out on the beginning, Jay is in a business meeting right now, but he'll be joining us in a few minutes or whenever it ends. But
he'll come after the halftime show.
Yeah, after the halftime show. I didn't know we had a halftime show.
Well, we're in it right now.
He's performing. That's funny.
The intermission.
Well, I got an interesting thing because I've been down the weird YouTube rabbit holes of science and invention and secret projects and stuff, and I found Project Acoustic Kitty, which is oh my god, Windows.
Was that the tone for it?
Oh yeah, the computer's playing out of the. No, it was just how likely are you to recommend this Windows PC? We built it. Of course, I'm going to recommend it. Oh, actually, we didn't build this one. Yeah. So yeah, Project Acoustic Kitty was a CIA project in the 1960s. So I love this time period of the 60s through the 80s because this sort of spycraft kind of Cold War genre of the things and the projects and stuff that these agencies came up with are just the most ridiculous, hilarious stuff. We've joked about that one pigeon guided bomb.
Yeah.
That instead of because they were still inventing seeker heads and stuff, and so they had a bomb with a camera on the front. And then literally they would train the pigeons to
peck at
the warships, pictures of enemy warships. So then that's how they guided the missile. So this one's a little different. So it's a 1960s secret CIA project to spy on the Kremlin, obviously, considering the time period and everything. But they implanted a mic and a transmitter. So the mic was in the cat's ear.
Oh, okay.
And then a transmitter at the base of the skull. And a thin, a little tiny wire that was under the fur, so they couldn't see that the cat was wearing a wire, which is kind of hilarious. Just the sentences, these are all brand new sentences, right? Bro, your cat wearing a wire?
We need a hypoallergenic cat, and it's just the hairless cat with the wire. You're what?
I didn't, because I watched the video on this, but I just have the Wikipedia page of it up right now. But I didn't know that it said, due to problems with distraction, the cat's sense of hunger had to be addressed in another operation, and they don't give any details on that operation, which is kind of sus. I hope the cat's okay. Well, actually, no, I know how the cat is. So yeah, the first test mission, right? I'm just laughing because of the ending. The first test mission was, let's test it out, eavesdropping on some people outside the Soviet embassy in DC. So it was in America, right? Mm-hmm. So they let the cat go near the thing, and then it immediately gets run over by a taxi.
Oh. Oh no.
$20 million into this project, dude. In 1960s money.
That has to be the equivalent of that drone takeoff in the middle of the highway. And
Yeah.
then, when it takes off, the
agriculture-
big rig just comes and smacks it out. It's like, well,
Yeah, if you guys want to see what Nick's talking about, just search agricultural drone gets hit by truck or something on like Instagram. Yeah, this is like one of those giant ones, and then they took it off on a road and then just started going forward. And then like me and Nick are watching it just like, why don't you go up? And then this truck just
why is it drifting? Uh-oh, this isn't good.
Oh my god. But yeah,
This is the importance of having spotters.
like the fact that they picked a cat, like right? Like, at least I feel like it would be easier to train a dog to do what you wanted to do. But they decided to pick a cat, and they dropped $20 million. I mean,
because cats get into places dogs can't.
True. That's a good point. Maybe that's why they were kind of thinking, because cats are more infiltrated. Yeah,
you've played, what, a Stray?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's like, you can see the athletic capabilities of a cat.
Yeah.
Granted, dogs are fun in different ways, but I think for, like, parkour, spelunking, the cats have the advantage.
Right. A cat is kind of a secret agent. Maybe that's why. It's just, I mean, the cat didn't level up its taxi avoidance points.
Oh, dude.
So the project went on for 7 years, apparently. It was canceled in 1967. And after the cat got run over, shortly thereafter, the project was considered a failure.
Well, yeah, 20 million is just like taken out by a taxi, dude.
Also, I love how it was 20 million to put a mic and a radio in a cat. I guess in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Right? It's probably easier. You probably do that now to a person.
Well, we could do it. The drone's like $40.
Yeah, you're right. No, not even. No, I think the mic that I bought.
Depends on the VTX.
No, the mic that I bought for the headset was like straight like $8. The one that I soldered in.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was thinking like the onboard mic that some VTXs have it.
Oh yeah.
So you could hear it in your headset.
Yeah. So yeah, a $20 VTX that has a built-in mic. It's same technology.
Yeah. That it probably stemmed from that project. So
that's kind of funny how technology has progressed, because at that point for $20 million, I'll make that cat do a freaking power loop around the Kremlin. I'll make that cat do a trippy spin around the Kremlin, dude.
Gonna Matty flip real quick. The hallway. Just
Project 2 acoustic 2 kitty, dude. We gotta get on it.
Quad kitty.
A 6S powered cat, dude.
Oh my god.
Then they should have attack mode too, so then they could like make the cat pull the claws out and then start.
Just hit it with the props, dude. That's all you need.
Dude, imagine though, like, and now I want like a Metal Gear Solid remake or a Splinter Cell remake, but you're a cat the whole time.
Someone's probably gonna do it.
Oh my god! Any 3D artists out there? Somebody render me a cat with the Sam Fisher
goggles,
3-eye goggles. Yeah.
But it has to have the signature tone too whenever you turn it on.
Oh my god! Roach and the radio. Oh yeah, in Fifth Element. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think roaches, like, you might be onto something with the roach and the radio thing, because I think roaches are, like, the last, or like one of the first living things that they were able to remote control, like with an actual remote control and electrodes implanted in the brain, and then like they could make like left or right turns. Oh. I mean, it kind of just, it's, it's still alive, so it does its own thing. But then when you push left, it gets its brain shocked, so then it goes that way. Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh my god.
That's like fighting with the sim, like the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. Because it kind of
go use the fridge when it wants to use the restroom. Like
dude, they just go and then they just turn around, and it's like, dude.
Or you just like hack the game or like cheat code the game and move it towards the fridge.
I know, right?
Just put it right in front of the fridge, like eat.
Dude, I love how just ridiculous and like try anything that they were in the Cold War. Like,
oh gosh,
I still think like one of my favorite like military like weird animal intersections is still the fact that like the Air Force tested the ejection seats on bears.
I faintly remember that.
Yeah, it was just like I think somebody. I think it might have been Real Engineering that did a video, because I remember the thumbnail being, why did the U.S. Air Force eject a bear? And then they like had a Photoshop picture of a bear ejected.
Well, they shot a manhole into space with a nuke. So
Yeah.
at this point, I'm not surprised anymore. what things we could do.
Dude. Yeah, like the manhole thing. Yeah, that was because it blew up in like a.
It was like an underground test facility,
right? That it shot because the manhole cover happened to be like attached to the pressure wave.
Yeah,
and then it popped it off and went flying to space. That's hilarious. That cat that they stuffed a drone with. No, they did. Wait, what?
Oh, I think it was like a taxidermy cat.
Oh my god, they made a drone out of a taxidermy cat?
I remember seeing that a while ago.
Wait, did they call it a dead cat? Because that is a form factor for the frame.
Maybe.
They had to. That should have been the joke, yeah.
I think it was like on the old DJI Phantoms though.
Because a dead cat is like when the fronts are straight.
They're slightly longer.
They're longer and they're straight out instead of an X. So they're straight out and then the back ones are backwards. So that way, because it looks like a dead cat, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on the frame.
Well, it's so you don't have the props in view.
Yeah.
For your
because I've seen some just being straight across, or others like the angle is increased.
I've heard that it's more efficient for like long range too, but I don't know. I don't long range.
I haven't tried. I was tempted, but I fell out of that hobby real quick.
For everyone asking where Jay is, he's on a business call right now. He'll be joining us as soon as he's done with that. That's exactly why a dead cat is a dead cat. Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
We're talking about drone frames, guys, for the people that don't know the context. We're not talking about actually dead cats, except for that one that the CIA had and spent $20 million.
the $20 million dead cat. Oh.
In 1960s money. Hold on, wait. U.S. inflation calculator. I want to see how much this cost us. I was about to say how much did us taxpayers pay, but I didn't because I was not alive yet. 1960, 20. Oh, it would have been $206 million. Dude, that's a fighter jet. Wait, how much is an F-22? Oh, sick. Low miles. No, kidding.
What about an F-15? Let's think realistically.
No, no. I want the top of the line. Why would I buy an F-15? The F-22 is already out, man.
Yo, that's like the driver era of like jets.
Wait, 17 are. Oh, wait, hold on. It's so hard to find. They don't list the prices.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but I mean, they know the prices. Oh, 138 million. It is more than an F-22. That cat costs more than a Raptor. Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
I'm like choking myself. Oh, my God. Dude. F-22, microphone on a cat. I mean, obviously they didn't have an F-22 in 1960. They were like barely designing the Tomcat.
Imagine.
Oh, THC Dad says, had open heart surgery on Monday. Oh, dude, congrats for being okay. I hope you're okay. I'm assuming you're okay because you're saying thank you for this great show. But yeah, as a open heart surgery survivor, 3 times not in a row, 3 times. Yeah, it's tough. It's a very invasive procedure. Holy crap, I ADHD. Anyway, what did you punch into our document?
Well, I figured since it's just you and me, we've seen Jay do his builds with no absolute limits. But what would be if you had the option to do a build at that level? What would be like your theme, and what would be like a feature you would definitely like? That would be the one that makes it for you.
Like a PC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think meant a car.
Well, okay. Well, no. Let's do PC.
Yeah.
I started on PC. We could ship the car later, but that thing changes all the time. It's annoying.
Dude, that's tough because my personal computer at home is kind of just like that's where I put like that into. You know what I mean? Like that is like obviously there's still like upgrade potential, but that I don't build my computer at home not with my favorite like thing. So I mean I guess okay, the theme, I don't think I would have a theme. Like I don't think I would go with like how Jay's doing the Expanse build or whatever. Yeah, I don't think I would go with the theme, and it would definitely be minimalist looking either.
All right.
See, I'm like bipolar because, well, I mean, I probably am bipolar, but like I'm also like a bipolar in that, like either I'm gonna go super Apple-y minimalistic or like that one Thermaltake like open case with like each individual card was on its own thing or whatever.
Oh yeah,
some sort of like open
10?
chassis, yeah. But then the thing about an open chassis is that the wiring is so hard to do. But okay, so I mean, just price is no object, then it would probably be, I think I would probably go with an open chassis just to show it off, instead of traditionally going minimalist like I usually do. And then it would have a hardline, some sort of hardline system in it. Probably like a teal or blue coolant. Or that fog. Dude, that Mystic fog looks really good.
Yeah, well, when you throw light on it, too.
I know. Because then you can, like Jay always says in every video, like, that's the best part about RGB is if you pick neutral colors for the components, then you can change the color theme like you want.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, hardware would obviously just be whatever's the fastest thing.
Yeah.
So 4090 currently, and then,
I think, for me, since it's no limit, I would actually do like aesthetics, everything. So it'd kind of be like a mix of a D frame and like an E1 frame almost. Like a mashup.
I totally forgot that the E1 could be an option. Yeah.
But it would definitely be like a GT3 kind of themed. So it'll look like a roll cage.
Okay.
Carbon accents. I want that'd
be sick.
I'll do like actual red fabric somehow, like a toe strap. Just like add the.
Oh yeah.
And I want like a button box on it too, just somewhere for a master power, and like you have to hit a couple switches to actually get the thing going.
I see a lot of people doing that with Raspberry Pis, and then like for Elite Dangerous or like other like sim games that have a lot of like custom stuff but aren't simulating real things.
Yeah.
Like space stuff. Yeah, like dude, it's it definitely, back when I used to have the Warthog code test that I gave to Jay, it definitely felt good to flick some switches and then push a big button to jump into hyperspace, like versus K on the keyboard. So yeah, a button panel for like, dude,
just that'd be fan control, like that'd be sick.
Yeah, and not like don't use like a Stream Deck or anything like that, like an actual real toggle switches and like. And dude, you need to pull like an engine start button from an actual car, and then use that as the power
like
button.
The emergency the kill switch or whatever.
Well, the kill switch for the power supply, but then like I think the start button should definitely be like an actual car engine start, wire the LED and everything. That'd be sick.
Or like the start or ignition and then start. You have to like push both of them.
Yeah.
I totally do like a solid race car theme on it.
I feel like the thing that I would go super hyper fixated on to make it like mine would be the lighting in the case. Like I would definitely do, because every time I do RGB stuff in like when I'm rearranging or moving the stuff around on the computer or like on my personal computer, I'm usually never fully satisfied with how the light looks. Like a lot of RGB strips, because of the fact that they're obviously made of individual LEDs, but most of them don't come with a diffuser. And or if they did, it's still the spacing between each LED is so far apart that like it just looks like it just reminds me of like Old Town Vegas. Because of all they used to run
the marquee with the
exactly. Before they went LEDs, they used to have like the actual bulbs and stuff, and so the spacing was always big, and so like because I used to way back in the day I used to rock cold cathode lights for PC lighting on the interior, and I still miss the fact that it was just a solid bar of light, and so like there was no like the light was very just glow. No hard shadows, no like weird crossover multiple shadows and stuff that you get with like the multiple LEDs. So yeah, I would probably do a lot of like mount the strip, 3D print like a channel or something, get diffuser material, you know what I mean? Yeah, like or figure out custom mounts on like where to aim the LEDs and stuff. I would love to do a lot of like, because my favorite thing to do with the RGB is with like open RGB and stuff is make the component itself be the indicator of like its temperature. Yeah. So like right now with my 3090, I have the X because the X is RGB. I wish the GeForce logo was RGB too, but it's just white. But right now the X, like it starts out blue and then it goes to white when it's at like operating temp, like 70-ish. and then it starts to turn yellow, then red. If it gets above 80, then it turns red.
On my K70, I used to do that, like for the F keys on top. It was just
that's dope.
So whenever I was like I had it set for my GPU temp, so it would just gradually change color depending on temperature.
I love that. Yeah, and then so like I have the GPU is the GPU temp, and then I have the RAM sticks color changing for the CPU temp. So then it's like, it's cool because at a glance you could just look and cool, the CPU is running hot right now. I wonder what's happening. Obviously we still have the sensor panel and everything, but I just think like, I don't know, for some reason, I think it just goes all the way back to being a little kid watching Star Trek and looking at that warp core. Because the warp cores are always like, obviously because they have to, build the set, right? Like they're always a big set piece. Mm-hmm. Like the Next Generation one had the sequential like neon rings that would go.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then Voyager had some crazy. I think it was like an internal projection system, but it looked like a bunch of like crazy fog going inside like a blue clear thingy.
Oh, kind of like a symbiote, like the fluid that we use.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's exactly what it looks like. And so I love that like idea of like if something is working hard in a system, it should be obvious that it is. You know what I mean? And honestly, like that's what I think is like Jay's been wanting to water cool my personal desktop like in the NR200P, which is going to be an interesting build. But honestly, like I'm like 40% sad that I'm going to lose the air cooler on the 3090 because I think it looks sick and I love seeing the fan spin up from idle or off, when I start a game and stuff. And like, yeah, I mean, having like obviously a water cooling card is going to perform better and it's way cooler, no pun intended. But I honestly like love the air cooler on that 30 series and 40 series. Like they just look so beautiful.
I think I like air cooling still just because it's more moving parts to look inside.
Exactly. Like I like that. Like
water cooling is dope, but like apart from like a fluid meter, like a flow meter, it's like there isn't really anything to like just look at.
I feel like chat's gonna be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna tell you when Jay gets back."
I bet
your crew doesn't like water cooling. They said they hate it.
I appreciate water cooling, but like on a personal level, it's like if I'm going to stare at my case, I want to see more moving bits.
And like I don't want to tell Jay like, oh, just water cool the CPU because like one, that's already how it is, but it's just an AIO. It would still be, I would definitely be able to push that i7 farther with a custom loop versus the AIO that's in there, just because AIO pumps are crap and the cold plates are crap.
The most custom I've done is still like a flex tubing, and I think today I do like a braided flex tube just to like change it up a little bit. I
think like, well, I mean, the most custom I ever did was a Thunderbolt 2 eGPU in an ammo can that I put together with like a PCI adapter that's supposed to be designed for like sound cards and stuff. And then I would love to just have, that would be, I think like kind of like the centerpiece would be definitely integrate a sensor panel somewhere in there. And then a lot of focus on like lighting and cool lighting effects and stuff like that, and not just like in component based lighting effects and like just
temp lighting.
Yeah, I just like that. That's kind of like the design thing that I always like to see is like if something's working hard, it should be obvious. Like I always joke about how I kind of miss when computers had hard drives because you could hear it thinking.
Oh, true.
You were never like, oh, is it frozen? Because you hear.
You can also hear when it's dying.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't hear an SSD die.
You just get that smart failure warning on boot up. Just like,
or you're like me and you plug the freaking cable in upside down and shove it through the tab.
Well, I've done that once by accident, but it was just by using the wrong PSU cable into the SSD.
So that's for the PC noobs in the audience right now. Modular power supplies, the brands have different pinouts on the power supply end of the cables that they give you. So you can't mix and match them even though they might fit. The pins might not be connected to the correct parts. And so Nick mixed and matched. Like it was like cables from like a different, like an EVGA power supply
with the Corsair
power supply. Yeah. And so the pinouts were wrong. And then what did you fry? Was it a drive?
Yeah. I killed an SSD.
Yeah.
Fried an SSD. We were wondering why it wasn't loading at all.
The funny thing is the SSD that I put the power plug in backwards or upside down, still works. Actually, it's in my drawer right now. It was the boot drive for the old computer.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, computers are significantly more resilient to that stuff. But yeah, I miss the like the fact that you could hear computers thinking and like lights and stuff. So yeah, so I think that's why I tend to try to make up for that lack of like audible feedback with visual feedback, as I think that's why I go for that sort of like component level lighting and that stuff. Like I'm super particular about the the RGB in my computer.
I kind of started caring less about like after I changed keyboards, obviously I didn't have the temperature change color on the keyboard anymore. So now it's more I rely on that display on the AIO, which I think is dope.
Yeah, and I love that too because it's on the component that it's showing.
It's letting me know what's actually going on. And I mean, eventually I'd probably do like a sensor panel with like my tablet screen, but I use the tablet screen for like as a second monitor. Basically.
Oh yeah, that's
at
dope.
This point. I don't use it for seeing stuff because I mean, if the game is working, obviously everything's fine in there. The fans haven't ramped up.
Yeah, I know. I tried that with my iPad. I tried having it be the sensor panel, but it just like I mean, I use my iPad outside of the computer too, which is which sucks because then you have to like designate a permanent thingy for it. But I don't know. It just felt too big and distracting. Like I kept looking at it when I didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like it's just like ooh, oh wait, I'm playing a video game right now. Yeah. Instead of the sensor panel where it's small enough that I don't notice it unless I am like intending to check it. You know. So I don't know, but yeah, I think to answer your question, yeah, it would definitely be
minimalistic.
I think I would go open chassis. If it's going to be a balls to the wall kind of build, then yeah, it would be some sort of open chassis with a crap ton of cable management and a lot of per device, per object, like lighting effects and stuff.
For sure.
That'd be dope.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Oh.
That's funny. What about, wait, so yours was, the car thing?
Like, yeah, definitely like, I want like a race car theme. Like a serious race car, not like street racing.
Would you? We should do a drift missile build. It's just like
it's mismatched panels. Zip tie,
say.
One side is zip tied, the other side is bacon, like a bacon vendor from like Too Much Stretch.
You order like a. Yeah, wait, who makes cases in like 5 different colors? Because you got to just order 5 cases and then just Harlequin it, basically. So it looks like a drift missile. Oh man, that's funny.
Just like make a little 3D print like a front lip and then zip tie half of it.
Never actually latch the side door closed. Like leave it flapping.
Yeah. Like put the wide body, but like don't do the gas
No, leave it open
cover.
and then zip tie it closed. Drill 2 holes and then zip tie it.
That's just like a meme build at this point.
I know. Some dumb stickers.
Oh, I got the stickers covered.
Yeah. and then a built-in vape. Like that guy's Subaru.
Just like a mini fog machine at this point.
No, do you remember that one guy with he installed a vape into his STI's dashboard?
No.
And then like he got like a hookah hose.
Oh.
It was literally like it's just a 510 coming out of the dashboard and then a hookah hose. And then he put the button on the steering wheel so he could like literally just built-in vape. No. Maximum Subaru achieved.
Oh no. Well, that's one more reason what makes Subaru a Subaru.
I swear, like every tuned Subi that I've seen in the past couple of weeks has always just driven off and then left a giant vape cloud.
Yeah, or like the windows are cracked just enough to like.
Yeah.
Is there a fire starting in there? It's like, oh no, so he's just vaping.
Yep, the stereotype is just so funny.
It's all fun and games to see like the plume of smoke when they like drive off, and it's like from their exhaust, like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the white smoke is the vape, and then the black smoke is
the blue smoke.
The blue smoke
is the other vape.
Yep.
Oh man.
Black smoke rise. Run to fetch marshmallows. Somebody said, I think you just solved the missing Jay mystery. He said he was getting marshmallows. He never came back.
I don't think.
Is Dad coming back or what? We're going to have to go get the milk after the show, apparently.
We're grown. We're grown. We can do this.
Oh, that's funny. Dude, I still can't get over the fact that it was $200 million for a cat with a microphone.
Well, that's the only way I'm going to look at F-22s now. Just like a flying cat.
A flying cat with a microphone. A spy cat. Did they make a movie about that or something? U.S. Air Force ejects bear. I want to find out the. Oh my God, the bear was named Yogi.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, they were testing supersonic ejections.
Oh.
And yeah, the bear survived.
Well, that's good.
But it did better than the cat.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine the bear ejects and it parachutes all the way down to the ground and then it gets run over by a taxi.
No.
The CIA is just like, why do all of our animal projects end in a taxi? They just start a war on the taxi.
I don't know if the article was real or not, but it was like something for biology where they're airdropping wolves into an area for population control on
I can see it.
invasive species. And then one of the captions was, "Imagine enjoying life when all of a sudden they start airdropping a predator towards you."
I think they tried that with bats or something, like and they put bombs on bats and they wanted because the bats like hanging out in the rafters or whatever.
Oh,
but I don't know how that ended up. But yeah,
that doesn't sound like it'll end up well because like you're always gonna get that stray bat that ends up somewhere else. Like, have you been to Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the Bat Bridge, it's
yeah.
that was wild to see in person, but it's also wild to see bats come out from other places too that aren't the bridge, and everyone's just like, wait, where did they come from? Kind of deal. So I can see how that project would be a flop very quickly if they had bomb bats everywhere.
It was called Project X-Ray.
Oh no.
Planned to release 1 million bats rigged with tiny explosives over Japan towards the end of World War II. Bats from Carlsbad Cavern in New Mexico were brought to a test facility. The bats' most successful test run resulted in the destruction of a hangar. That's successful?
It was a hangar. It wasn't a specified hangar.
Oh, weird. Okay, I didn't expect this as the reason why they canceled the project. It was because no one knew how to automate the bat arming process. Like the actual strapping of the bomb to the bat.
Oh. Okay, so on production side it would be slow.
Geez. Bombs were also attempted with rats and trained domestic cats. Like cats again.
You know, this totally just reminds me of that scene in Wanted where the dude mixes the peanut butter and C4 and makes the rats eat them.
Oh yeah.
And then like just throws unloads them at the building.
Like that's what's so funny to me is that like we're mixing and matching like movie plots and real plots, and like it really was that crazy back then. That's what I love about that era. It's just the most ridiculous. Like the whole. Dang, I already forgot the president because American education system. But
number one.
Yeah. I went to Catholic school for 11 years. I'm so smart now. No. The president who wanted to do the laser-based like missile defense system. I think it was called Project Star Wars or something. But yeah, like Reagan. I feel like it's Reagan. But
I feel that's a Google question.
But anyway, yeah, like no, they wanted to put a bunch of satellites with high-powered lasers. And then so if the Soviet Union ever launched an ICBM, we could just pop it in space before it gets down here. But it's like
it sounds like another movie plot.
We could, I know, but like I could see us pulling that off, like maybe today. You know what I mean with today's technology, but like in the 60s. You want to put, like, we barely just got a dude on the moon, and then you want to put lasers, a whole freaking, like, grid of lasers in orbit around the Earth to defend.
So I'm thinking of Moonraker, like the old James Bond movie.
Yeah. I think that's what inspired it, probably.
And then, like, future, I'm thinking Ace Combat 7, where they have the giant lasers attached to the jets.
Armed Professional says, yes, it was Reagan. I trust him because it's Armed Professional. Particle,
well,
yeah.
We're getting like 3 people for Reagan, 4 now. But,
I know the latest directed energy weapon test, like AKA literal laser beam, was like 747 mounted. Like it was on a jumbo jet. And it was just like a big, huge pod on the front, and then they were using it to pop like intercept missiles and stuff. But it's like it's cool, but it's just like we're so far off from like laser weaponry and stuff because it's just batteries. That's the bottleneck right now.
I'm still excited about like what do you call it, railguns?
Yeah.
Like
again though, batteries. Like that's the problem. That's why I had to be in a jumbo jet because most of the jumbo jet was battery.
Because it's
like a drone, right? Like, most of it is battery.
We need more than a 12S. What do you mean?
Yeah. Even like if you look at like a vape, right? Like this much is battery, and then that much is the thing that it's powering, right?
That's a 1S, right?
Yeah, it's literally a tiny one battery. If you pop one open, it's literally a little tiny 1S. Dude. But yeah, like that. I wish that's the area of technology that I wish, like, for the betterment, I guess, of just technology overall. I wish that would get more progress. You know what I mean? Because it's just that's not, like so much like would be solved and so much would be enabled by a huge jump in battery tech. And obviously, you know, they're obviously still working at it and they're doing a bunch of research in that field. But like, yeah, I mean, you know, like charging times and capacity are just always the asterisk on anything electric powered. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
It's just like, you know, how long can you fly like an old RC helicopter that's nitro powered versus a 6S drone?
A lipo, yeah.
Right? Like you're going to get 5 to 10 minutes maybe out of the drone, but like, you know, you could fly the helicopter until it's out of fuel.
Yeah, you can't do it with the drone.
Yeah, and then to charge it back up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, pour it in.
Yeah. Like that's just the biggest like kind of obstacle to. And I'm thinking like, you know, even like phones, like I've been seeing on Twitter people with like, you know, the most like modern phones seeing battery degradation all the way down to like 80% in a year and stuff. And it's like, this stuff would be solved because if the phone could carry a 2 or 3 day charge, you would be charging it less. You would be charging it less under situations where you're on the go. It's probably going to be subjected to heat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that sort of stuff versus, you know, like, okay, cool. You're just charging it once overnight at night. It can wait to, and then like, you know, the smart charging and stuff, like it goes to 80 until like about an hour before you wake up. And then that's when it gives you the last 20%. So that way it's not
sitting on full juice.
Exactly. Because that, you know, like we know, right?
Yeah,
The lipo will puff up on its own if you leave it fully charged because they're not designed, or it's not that they're not designed. They just, the chemistry doesn't like it.
Yeah, it doesn't like hanging out full power. Like that's why, like, rule of thumb, if you don't fly your packs, just discharge them at home.
Yeah. Or even phones, like handheld gaming PCs, like everything. You know what I mean? Everything with a lipo, like they don't like to be stored and chilling at like over 80%. But yeah, it's just like if we could just solve the capacity issue, you know what I mean? Like then you'll have electric cars that aren't like 200-ish miles for a base range or like a base model, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and extended range and whatnot. Extended would be even more extended.
Yeah. Because just because like that, like a base model Civic has what, like 400 plus miles of range?
Does it? I haven't checked.
Yeah, how much MPG does it get versus how big of a gas tank does it have, right? Because like my Civic with 270,000 miles on it has 400 miles of range on a 10-gallon tank because I get 40 miles a gallon. Okay. And so it's weird. Damn. It's weird to think about it that way, right? Because then if you convert it to the electric side, then it's like, oh yeah, like gas cars. The cheapest gas car will always have that much more range, and that's just because battery tech is still the limiting factor. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, one, you have to produce a pack that's that big or that can hold that much energy, and then two, like the weight, like that's another big thing. Like the going back to the 747 with the laser, like with the giant attack laser on it, like it has to be a giant attack laser because you can't make smaller ones that are powered by smaller batteries because they're not, like, it's just the battery. You get like 5 shots.
Yeah.
2 shots of laser. Yeah, I wish battery tech or like super caps or something would happen to it. We almost had the first room temperature superconductor with that LK99 thing, but I think the consensus now is that nope, false alarm. Unfortunately, Korea did not get to redeem their cloning incident, that'll be another topic for Phil goes down weird random YouTube rabbit holes for another episode. But that one Korean scientist that faked all the cloning stuff that's a crazy story. If you guys haven't seen it,
Control C, Control V.
Dude, the thing that cracks me up about that story is that like he was letting people like visit the cloned animals and stuff and pet them and everything too, but like no one thought, have you checked the DNA? Like literally, that's how it happened. They were like, wait, no one.
He got audited.
Yeah, basically, because they were like, wait, we just realized none of us have asked to see the DNA, and then that's how we got outed, and then the whole freaking giant, cluster F happened.
I was at Toyota recently. It talked about doing like a renewable fuel for the next moon vehicle. It's like part hybrid, but it's also like hydrogen as well.
Okay.
And it renews with the oxygen water.
Right.
And I didn't dig into the article too much because I honestly just kind of got burnt out looking at
They
articles.
use hydrogen fuel cells a lot in space because of that reason. Because you just need, I think all you have to supply is water and then it's not power. I don't remember how the chemistry works.
Basically, the groundwork was like if they could do that, then they could have because a night on the moon is like 14 days over here or something like that.
Right.
So they would be able to let the vehicle charge during that time, and then be able to just run it during the day while it's pulling in solar to make the other stuff.
Better than RTGs.
Oh yeah.
That's another YouTube rabbit hole that I've been down because I rewatched the Chernobyl series again. Did you ever watch anything after the clip I sent you? Dude, it's so good. It's such a good freaking dramatization, I guess.
There's like a bunch of stuff I need to watch. I haven't like pulled myself together to sit down and watch yet.
I know Jay freaking watching The Expanse again. The lights out!
Turn it off!
Guys, Jay's here. Hold on, wait. Dude, we didn't clean up. Dad's here.
Yeah. Oh no, he came back. Where's our marshmallows?
Mom's coming up the driveway. I went to the gym at 5 this morning, so I'm drinking now.
Did you thaw
Nice.
Did you thaw the chicken like he asked?
Yeah, what?
Did you pull the chicken out of the freezer?
Defrosted?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I didn't
Jay's
make
back.
rice. I forgot to make rice. Too.
I don't know why it won't defrost.
All right, now that my tax stuff is over, that's why I'm drinking. No, seriously, I did go to the gym at 5 this morning. So
I was about to ask, can I have some?
well, I got the Dalmore. We could do the Glyph or the Dalmore. I kind of want to polish off.
It's up to you because I don't want to drink your expensive stuff if you don't want us to drink your expensive stuff.
I only have expensive stuff.
That's a good point. this is the J way. Thank you, sir.
What were you guys talking about?
Wait, why did you give me an extra?
Oh.
Whatever.
We're talking about batteries.
Yeah, and how
Okay, I'm going back in the other room now.
Well, what he missed was the CIA secret plan to implant a microphone and a radio transmitter into a cat.
I don't know anything about that. I know you talked about it on the when we were kind of talking about topics before the show, but
So they sent it. So the TLDR is they dropped it off at the cheers.
Cheers.
By the way, cheers to your taxes. I guess technically.
honestly,
taxes.
it's not that bad. I figured we'd stick with the Dalmore because you had scotch yesterday, so I'm like, we might as well stick with scotch.
Yeah. So they dropped it off in front of the Soviet embassy, and then it started running towards it, and then immediately got hit by a taxi. $20 million in 1960, which is
sorry. Open back. I put my head down so hard it went into the mic.
$206 million in today's money. We were
Wait, 200 million?
It was $20 million in 1960. Like that was the project cost. And so converted to 2023 money, it was $200 million.
How do you think that conversation went? You know, we trained pigeons
yeah,
to guide missiles.
That's what we were talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went
Dang it, I don't want to I'm thinking like Nick now. Oh, no.
It was just, well, I mean, I brought up the pigeon thing because we all knew about it, but like, the people in the chat that didn't know.
I kind of want to know how much it costs for them to train the pigeons now.
I know. I never actually looked at the cost of that project, but me and Nick were laughing so hard because we realized an F-22 is like 160 mil. So
it costs twice as much to train a cat to get hit by a taxi.
Oh yeah, like 1.5 or whatever.
Than one F-22 Raptor.
That's why I was like F-22 cat with microphone. Obviously,
even if you took into account all the training to train the pilot and all their
right,
the income expenses of the pilot. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Maybe the pilot's running to the plane gets hit by a taxi. It's like, Matt,
the F-22 gets hit by a taxi.
Little did we know the taxi is just the mortal enemy of the CIA.
No, but all I'm saying is like I'm wondering what that we train pigeons. We can easily train a cat.
I know.
Has anyone ever tried to train a cat?
That's what I was saying. I was like, why didn't they use dogs?
It's the same people at Chrysler who decided to put a Hemi into a minivan or the Hellcat engine in the minivan.
Hellcat. It always comes back to cat.
Hellcat. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least a Hellcat in a minivan is kind of fun.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah, that'd be like if you attached a rocket to the cat. Now
Look,
that
I
would be $20 million.
I already dunked on a kid in an '86 in a minivan. Okay,
Yeah.
with a full family in it. Could you imagine now if I was like pulling on freaking 392 Chargers in a van, like a minivan? You
should do it.
I would like to see it.
A Hellcat is a strong engine, but that's why the TRX is still slow because it's such a big, heavy truck, 65, almost 7,000 pounds.
I want to see a plaid swapped minivan. Just take the drivetrain.
It's a Platy van.
Yeah, Platy van. Dude, imagine seeing a minivan go from 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds or whatever. Oh my god! Like even back when you had the
Sienna.
No, he had.
The Sienna is what I beat the 86 in with
The AMG SUV. Even that thing was
yeah.
just funny to see going fast because it's just like large objects shouldn't go fast. Like they shouldn't accelerate fast. That's what makes it look so weird.
I was trying to figure out why it looked so blown out, and then I realized it was exposed for you guys. So I just look like a ghost.
Oh, I didn't change anything.
Oh, weird. It's like so maybe it's the monitor because it's just the.
You gotta go to the
little
beach,
VSonic
work on your tan.
No, all I do is burn.
Yeah, same. I did the one joke of like, oh, I'm brown enough, I'm not gonna burn, and then I burned so bad in Hawaii.
They ejected a black bear named Yogi.
Oh yeah, we were researching into the
What
the
other
bear.
animal?
The ranger's not gonna like that, Yogi.
We were joking that like, what if the bear ejected parachute all the way down and then a taxi hits?
No, I'm telling you right now, somebody's watched too much Monty Python. Like when they were launching cows and chickens and goats
Yeah.
with the catapult
They were
over
like,
the fence.
Oh, how do we test our new supersonic ejection seat? A bear.
Bear.
That's unbearable.
I just love that. Yeah. Well, the bear.
I can hardly
bore-
bear the thought.
I think the bear bore it though.
They're SRT4 swapped minivans. That sounds boring.
Yeah.
You make people. You're so mean. You
It
make
was
people
slow
sad.
in the neon. Why would you put it in a heavier car?
Yep.
The neon was still in like a 13.4 second quarter or 13.4 second quarter.
It was basically just like, did you want the JDM sound pack with the neon? Like that was what SRT4
It's like when you change the engine sounds in Rocket League. That's all you get.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I've seen some ridiculous ones, but it's just like you've seen some ridiculous EG Civics that with the giant drag slicks on the front.
We were just watching some videos about that.
It always looks so funny because it's like they just skipped leg day.
Did you guys intentionally turn the AC off, by the way?
No.
Okay, because
I was wondering why it
was set
finally
to
came up.
It was set to 83.
I was wondering why I was sweating.
I walked out of the office like into the front room here.
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, oh my! It was like I walked into a sauna.
Maybe that's why we were like, oh, why does it seem like the heat's like leaking in from that? It's just we just never. This was just set high, I guess.
Yeah.
What you guys were feeling was like literally the outside coming into the inside. That's how hot it was.
Oh,
So we were acclimating ourselves.
Yeah, the temperature in the front half of the office here was nearly the same temp as outside right now.
oh, because of the light, like the light coming in through the windows and stuff.
No, just
No.
because there's no insulation in these panels above here.
Oh,
Remember the new office? I had that fully sound insulated.
Yeah,
the walls, the ceiling, and everything.
I guess I just assumed that this had insulation, but you're right. I guess
No, you pop your head up, you're just gonna get dust falling on you, and there's just
Yeah,
the
we've flown up
panels.
there. I just
Yeah.
remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see. I didn't see any insulation.
Yeah, there's no
when I flew there.
insulation up there. Huh. Anyway.
Yeah, when Nick almost got stuck up there.
No,
was
I got-
it you or me or Jay?
I
don't
got
remember.
stuck up
Oh
there.
yeah, Jay
Yeah.
got stuck up there.
We had to pop through the tiles to get it.
Yeah, I was like right there.
We need. Oh, yeah. We need to bring that back.
No, we don't. It's gonna be because we're not popping up those panels, the sound acoustic ones.
Those would
'cause-
suck. Well, you were with me when I flew it around there. Like,
Oh, I wasn't with you.
well, you were watching me through the.
Reluctantly.
Oh. Anyways, Phil.
Yeah, hi Nick. Reluctantly.
This
Wow.
is weird. So I'm not gonna be working out Friday afternoons until after football season because my personal trainer is also a football coach. So
So
I'm
you
gonna be
switched back
working
to-
out at 5 a.m. on Fridays, which means now I'm back to enjoying a drink
Oh
every
yeah,
RTFM.
I forgot that was the reason why you stopped because it was like.
Dude, I want to
Go to the gym,
gym
you're all-
buzzed.
I mean, I've done it. I've actually gone more than buzzed. Not drunk. but
Tony
more than
I'm
buzzed.
Bowden in chat says, "Hey Jay, your employees don't like water cooling their rigs. They
yeah.
like looking at the fans for air cooling." Does anyone want to elaborate?
Okay, so because
What is this blasphemy?
I told you they were gonna tell us. No, because Nick brought up like, hey, if you had like a cost
No limit.
Yeah.
What kind of build would we do? Like if we each got to do our own custom PCs.
So I was like talking about how it would be for me. It would be like an open chassis with a bunch of crazy wire tucking and like lighting effects and stuff. And
Open
then,
chest, like open air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like but then then I was talking about how you were telling me that you wanted to water cool the NR200P and like the thing that
Before I
that's-
do that though, I am going to use our second one to sort of plan.
Yeah.
That
nice.
way your downtime is limited.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a year.
You're right.
For the record, I don't know if people are following on Twitter. I've been showing progress pics. This Expanse themed PC build is moving quickly. Nick has been like 3D modeling and 3D printing like a madman and making adjustments as needed so that I can get right into the melting and smashing aspect of it.
The kid bashing part.
Yeah, creating parts just to watch them get destroyed.
Some people are like, why do you always? Some people ask me like, why do you always do battle damage? I'm like, because it's a way to hide mistakes.
And it's fun. It's just fun to put a hole in something. But no, and I was telling Nick how like when you water cool that computer, the thing that I'm like the most sad about is losing the big beautiful 3090 cooler, the air cooler.
Yeah, but you still have a vertical mount right there, and you're going to have a really beautiful ARGB block now.
That's a good point.
If we go with like a clear plexi one, you're going to have all kinds of lighting there.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
But you're like me though. When
you built Black Ice, and
Black Ice was all
it's actually
about
the same 3090 that was in Black Ice.
Yes, it was all about showcasing the cool looking. Like we love the way the Founders Edition cards look. Both of us do aesthetically.
Absolutely, one of my favorite industrial design pieces ever. Like just straight up ever.
Right.
It is one of the most beautiful objects I've seen.
We'll just have to do some shopping then to figure out which block is going to aesthetically, make you happy.
Yeah.
And will still fit.
Right.
Because we have to deal with the
Although
height.
if it fits an air-cooled 3090, then I think the terminals and stuff.
No, so the 3090 PCB is not as tall as the cooler is, which helps.
Oh.
So
I thought it was like a kingpin where the PCB goes all the way up.
No, that's why the 4080 and 4090, or I'm sorry, the 3080 and 3090 and the 4080 4090 blocks are the same for the Founders. Remember, 4080 4090 are the same exact dimensions as a 30 series,
which was weird.
But the 3080 and 3090 used the same block, because at the end of the day, when you take the cooler off, the components are still the same size on the board. Actually, I do think the 3090 PCB is taller. We'll have to look. But the problem is if the PCB is taller, then you add fittings on top of that.
Yeah.
But just make sure it's not going to interfere.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to start cutting holes and externally mounting stuff.
And then I have to 3D print more stuff.
That'd be fun. It'd be another expanse. It just turns into another expanse computer. I'm like, I wouldn't hate it.
The expanse again. Yeah. No, the expanse expanded.
No, but then you could do one of them be a different navy.
Can yours be the Mormon ship? You put a little Moroni on there and stuff.
Dude,
a little gold angel.
You should have done that with the ice ball, because like how it's a giant ball in the shit.
Yours will have a big giant
with
dish.
the golden angel that's like with the trumpet. The trumpet angel.
I still love how the Behemoth didn't have any real weapons on it, like before they retrofitted it, but it did have that giant freaking focused like radio antenna.
Oh yeah.
To like shoot signals out into deep space.
Which I guess, you turn it up enough, it turns into a microwave. That's all a microwave is. It's just a really loud radio.
Burritos were cooked across the galaxy.
Along with the people holding them.
Oh, that's when you could put the AMG 8 burrito badge on it.
Oh, yeah.
So when I had debadged the AMG...
It was the bi-turbo.
Yeah, he called it the...
You bought enough badges, like V8 bi-turbo. He bought replacement badges. So with the leftover badges, I just rearranged it so it's an 8 burrito.
Yeah, it said the 8 burrito.
Oh, you should have kept it. I would have put it on my car.
I wish we stuck it on his car instead of
I could
turbo.
Dude, I would have rocked it.
The V8 burrito.
I would have, dude, a Honda Civic Hybrid 8 burrito.
That's it.
People are like, wait. People are like, what's the 8 burrito trim? It comes with
it's one better than the 7.
Yeah. It comes with 8 burritos.
It's more exclusive than the V8 bi-turbo.
I just spilled on my hand.
I just randomly read a comment that was like, I finally found normal people on YouTube. Yeah.
Wait, are they saying they found someone else? Or are we the normal people?
We're the normal people.
So that means they're crazy like us.
Yep.
Because crazy is normal to crazy. I was crazy. I was crazy once.
Oh, boy.
Never mind. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, no.
What?
No, you don't know that little skit?
Yeah, I know. That's good.
Okay, I'm not going to do it.
I don't want to do it either.
I said that in on my live stream on Twitch the other night, where we were playing Phasmo, and then both AJ and IKEA kept repeating it over and over and over and over. Anyway.
Oh, hey, we actually got a cable mod story in chat. Cable mod took care of me, melted adapter, took out my 4090, gave me my money back, and paid for my new extended warranty from Micro Center.
Yeah, I really hope people that have had problems with the cable mod adapters have also been going and posting their positive stories, because I think that's the problem with consumer feedback is 95% of the time, and I'm just pulling that number out of thin air, people will be very vocal about a complaint, but they will be super silent about a positive experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So every brand looks like it's nothing but crap experiences because that's all people report on. But Cable Mod, I've been very communicative with behind the scenes because I'm like, look, you're one of our sponsors, man. We're holding you to a standard. And they're just like, no, we hold ourselves to a standard. That's why they go above and beyond like this, you know?
That's awesome.
I just wish more companies did it. But could you imagine, like, I still can't imagine how they can keep their head above water every time they have. Because think about it.
Bi-turbo burrito.
The burrito. That burrito eats both burritos.
Imagine the bathroom trip after a bi-turbo burrito.
I learned something this morning. When I work out first, if the poops after are fantastic. By the way. Shut up, Nick.
I didn't say anything.
I hear your thoughts.
Stop
they came through the mic.
No, stop.
And they went into here and then into my headphones.
So that means you work out the hardest when you have stuff in your butt that needs to come out.
No, it was stuff in my gut, not butt. The butt is an out hole for me.
Jay just
You know what? I'm having another one. Screw this. I don't have to.
Jay performs
let's go
better
across
on
the
this.
street
I don't have
real
to take
quick
this
and see
anymore.
what else turns green.
Does anybody else want some?
Yeah, sure, I'll take some.
We're gonna be playing games for a while before we go home.
Yep. We haven't played Rocket League in like 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness!
It's gonna be great.
Is it a
Hard
new
pass.
season yet?
I don't know.
Thanks.
Dang, I was saying stuff. I forgot what I was saying. Workout, poops better after workout.
You work out better with poop in your butt. That's where we ended.
You know what? I don't know where I was going with this story.
Up your butt.
I don't like where this is going.
Wow, what a time to join the stream. Welcome, Brad Kaiser.
Jay, direct dye thermal paste of liquid metal. Why? I think he's asking, why did I use thermal paste instead of liquid metal? I used the paste to check for the spread. Clearly, for direct dye cooling, liquid metal would be best. But if hi. listen.
Jay's drunk. Jay's already drunk.
Linda.
I'm a lightweight, okay? No, I want to comment about this.
Bi-turbo liver.
There was a lot of comments about the video I did for the direct dye block that Singularity sent. And people were like, why would you use thermal paste? That's terrible. You know you use thermal paste in all the direct dye water blocks for graphics cards, right? They're not liquid metal. Liquid metal has a better coefficient and a better thermal transfer.
Yeah.
But do you know what's underneath most of your IHSs? It's not solder. It's thermaltim. It's actually a different compound, but still. Liquid metal will be better. But the problem with liquid metal is, and Phil and I have talked about this, I'm still afraid of its longevity. I'm still afraid of it squishing out and getting on something that it shouldn't get on and then dissolving the solder on some SMD or something on the substrate.
Yeah.
So you would have to like come up with like a moat system of some way. So if it did squish off the side, that it can't spread to something else, especially if it's vertical, it's going to droop down, right?
I think that's what Sony's doing with the PlayStation 5's liquid metal solution. Because
see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
until you told me. I didn't know the PS5 was liquid
and they
metal.
had. I thought I remembered seeing a moat. I mean, I'll look it up right now, but I'm pretty sure they had a moat.
It's because they're vertical and horizontal standing, right?
Yeah, but they wanted a liquid metal thermal interface material, and so the moat is for that. Yeah, so it doesn't leak anywhere in case it does. But then remember, we did have that one story of that repair shop somewhere that was saying that. Well, they blew it out of proportion. They were saying like, "Oh, every PS5 is going to leak the liquid metal, blah blah blah, if you keep it vertical." But then it was just like one that it happened to. But
it must have been they used more than normal. Yeah. Typically, liquid metal has a pretty good surface tension. It wants to stay touching the metal it's touching. Yeah. But if you put too much, and obviously you have a really good contact between the cooler and the die, it's going to squish out.
I don't really see a moat. I just see
those SMDs really close to it.
I know. They're touching it.
They're touching it.
Yeah. Huh.
You have to hold that up to the camera so people can see. I don't know. You have to blow it up real big. So this is the PS5 SMD right here. Or not the SMD, but the CPU. You can't really see it.
Yeah.
Dang. Anyway, the thermal paste, the liquid metal is touching. You'd have to hope that conformal coating is going to be strong enough for that. It's blurry, but you can still see that thermal paste is like touching some of those SMDs.
It's touching like that one and that one.
Yeah. So unless that conformal coating is really thick, it could potentially make those pop off.
Yeah, it's weird.
I've never actually owned or used a PC that has liquid metal as its main thermal material. I'm still a little nervous about it because what's the one time I used it was on my RTX Titan, right? And what did I do? I busted it.
Oh yeah.
So because I left it on too long on the when we did the shunt mod, and it just dissolved everything and stuff started falling off. That's what I should take. That's what I should take the Northridge fix. Here, fix this. Half the stuff's like falling off the face of it because the liquid metal got all over the place.
No, they did remove the moat. Okay, so here's the picture of the moat, the solution that they had, and you can see it completely covers everything but the die.
Yeah, and that's what you would need. You would need something to protect everything around it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just think, oh, direct die, thermal, it needs to be liquid metal or nothing else. But like I said, pretty much every single water block for GPUs comes with thermal paste. Your GPU right now if you're watching this or listening to this live stream and you're playing a game right now, your direct die cooler on your graphics card, whether it be air cooled or water block, is thermal paste, not liquid metal, unless you did it yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that I was surprised that Sony decided to go this route with, a mass-produced like console that's going to be potentially dropped, thrown around, moved around a lot. You know what I mean? Because it moves with you whenever you move.
It's one of the reasons why I don't use thermal liquid metal in laptops too, because it moves around so much.
And I remember I think I saw somebody back when I had the GPD Win Max, somebody had done a liquid metal on the Win Max, but then even that's even more scary because since it's handheld, it's even more likely to be in weird angles and stuff.
Antech in chat says my PS5 has been standing upright since January 21. I have no issues with liquid metal. It's working as intended.
Yeah.
Because it has a moat.
It's working as intended.
Even if it doesn't work as intended,
that's a feature. Working is a feature. You know what?
It never used
in today's environment, something that works is a feature. Okay, because there's enough broken crap making its way around disguised as not crap.
Okay, maybe that's why they use liquid metal. That's a big heatsink. I didn't think it was.
Wait, you haven't seen any of Austin's 62 teardowns of PS5s?
No. Sorry, Austin.
This PS5 has 3 less fins. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember seeing that on my homepage. Yeah, when they were trying to figure out the differences in the.
Well, because Sony does have revisions, but I don't know if the revisions are as much. Because there's a PCB revision as well for the motherboard.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of that is truly a revision versus maybe multiple manufacturing facilities.
Right.
But you would think both manufacturing facilities would be making identical product.
Or one manufacturing facility has figured out an easier way to do something, and then they tell the other one, hey, make a revision.
Well, usually revisions are nothing more than we found a corner we can cut. We can save manufacturing costs a few cents by doing this instead.
Yeah.
Number 4 will shock you. Literally, number 4 is a shock probe built into you.
I mean, that's why, the mid-cycle refresh for consoles that's exactly what it is. It's oh, hey, we can sell them the same hardware, but...
Someone said, actually, someone replaced liquid metal with thermal paste on the PS5, and it does throttle. There's a million different reasons for that, though. Like my laptop video about the tolerances we were dealing with, in the laptop where, okay, I had a 0.5 millimeter thermal pad. A 0.5 millimeter on the memory was enough to lift the cooler tension off of the GPU die to make the temperature rise to nearly 90 C. A 0.5 millimeter. So that's why they use the squishy ones. And the problem is maybe not so much that the quote unquote GPU/APU in the PS5 is throttling, as much as the mounting tension also may not be as good after you take it off and put it back on. There's a lot of different reasons why that can be. But liquid metal obviously was put on there for a reason. I'd have to assume Sony did their testing and said, you know what, we should liquid metal this. But it's interesting, though, to think that the limiting factor is the transfer between the die and the cooler. Because typically the coolers are too small in laptops and consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
But to have the bottleneck be the thermal material, that's kind of weird to me.
I think it's just because since your direct die cooling stuff, you're getting rid of the IHS as a potential bottleneck for that. So then the last thing remaining besides the cooler is the thermal interface material.
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, IHS, it means you have thermal material on both sides of it.
Yeah.
So you have die, thermal material, IHS, thermal material, cooler.
Yep. And that's why, for the people that are wondering why people delid, that's exactly why. You're removing, not only you're removing the IHS from the equation, you're also removing another layer of thermal paste.
Do you remember where delidding started and why? The number one reason people started delidding? I do.
What was that? I don't actually remember when.
4770K. So Intel had always used solder, like
right. Yeah.
Like they'd always used. Yeah. So, and then the 4770K came out, and it was hot as hell.
And they used TIM.
So the number one.
Have they been using TIM since or what?
Since then?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way up until.
I think it was 10th series, right? 10th gen or whatever when they finally, because I remember hearing that they went back or something.
Well, they end up using like a hybrid.
Oh yeah,
it's like a more solid TIM that they have to like heat the IHS and like glues or whatever. But it's like the only ones that are truly soldered are the ones that have the hole drilled in the IHS. That's to let the fumes and the flux out, right? The flux from the fumes
so
or the fumes from the flux. Whatever, shut up.
The flux from the fumes from the flux.
The X99s and X299s were soldered. But no, with the 4770K, they tried to like save a few cents. So they just used thermal interface material or TIM. But the problem was too, like there were like 14 C differences between the coolest and hottest cores on a 4770.
Oh, jeez. So
that's why delidding really became mainstream again at that point. Because of the necessity of it. Mm-hmm. See, remember, CPUs didn't have IHSs on them for a long time.
Yeah. At least the last one that I remember working with was an Athlon XP 2600, so second gen Athlon XP.
Jeez.
And that's still, it had the 4 pads and then a die.
The little felt pads?
The little 4 pads and a die, and don't crack it. Don't tighten your cooler too hard.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's literally tighten until it stops.
That's the same generation of AMD that you could turn on the PC with no cooler and just watch the die pop.
Yeah, thermal protection. What's that?
It would just keep heating up, a little smoke, and then you would see it discolor, and then it would just crack.
It literally just like starts boiling, cracking.
Yep. From like, I guess back then they were like 2 volts for the CPU, but still.
Yeah, it's ridiculous looking at the
volts.
old. Yeah, and it's like the process nodes are in like micrometers, not nanometers.
Yeah. Oh, and someone in chat says, so that's what the hole was for. I never knew. Yeah, the hole was, if you have the hole in the IHS, it was guaranteed to be like a true soldered.
To allow for degassing.
Yeah, with like real solder.
I always thought that the hole was just there to catch your thermal paste.
I often wonder,
just
you know
for
what?
No reason.
I don't have them anymore because we got rid of all of them, the yard sale, the X99 and X299 CPUs, but I should have delidded one.
Just to see
how much thermal paste made it in that area.
Oh yeah, it through the hole.
Yeah. Because if you have thermal paste on there, it's going to squish into there, you know? What are you looking at?
I'm trying to...
I see Pentium. That's all I see.
It was 5 volts.
Jeez.
5 volt V-core, dude. I was trying to figure out
which Pentium? Is Pentium 3?
That was a Pentium 50 megahertz. So the first one.
5 volts for 50 megahertz. Wow.
Well, you can get 60 megahertz out of 5 volts.
How the turns table.
Oh, the 66 megahertz one, though. They had to up the V-core to 5.15 volts. TDP is 16 watts.
I couldn't even run a CPU today at 5 volts if I wanted to try.
I think I could.
I think like 2.5 is the highest that any motherboard will go to with all safeties removed.
I think I could rub my hands together and generate more than 16 watts of heat.
We got the probe.
You're right.
But can you do it with 5 volts going through your body?
Yeah. Probably.
Well, I mean, I've touched the neutral side of 120. I know what that feels like.
It's fun.
It's a bit of a tingle. It feels kind of cold.
Wow.
At least you can let go of it. The hot side's a different story. I've never touched the hot side of 120, but I have touched the neutral side. Oh, not on purpose either, by the way.
I bridged the hot and neutral, and because I was plugging something in the dark, which I never do now because of this reason. But I thought I was holding onto the plastic part of the plug, but I was holding onto the prongs, and then I plugged it in, and then I saw blue, and then I was like 3 feet away from the plug, and it felt like you said, it was cold. It was like you dunked your whole arm in ice water instantly, and also like rock bottomed it into the funny bone. Like it was like funny bone, but like as maximum amount of nerve.
Well, at least it was like 2 fingers doing it and not both fingers, because then it would have gone through your heart.
Yep. No, I distinctly remember because I ran to my mom and I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna die." And then she started freaking out because, you know,
I swallowed electricity.
Yeah. I shocked myself that I'm gonna die, huh?
It's like the whole 9 volt on the tongue thing.
Or those old shocking pens.
God, I'm trying to find those so much.
You know what I'm gonna order? I'm gonna order 3 of those tennis racket bug zappers for us.
Oh my god. It was 800 nanometer process.
800?
It's actually 0.8 micrometers, but yeah.
But when it's measured in a meter, anything with a meter in it at that point.
Well, I mean, nanometer has meter in
No,
it.
but still.
Yeah, the fact that
I'm imagining 800
the
meter
fact that
CPU.
it's not nano is funny.
I'm imagining an 800 meter CPU.
I guess that's probably why they called them microprocessors as opposed to nanoprocessors, because they were still on the micron scale back then.
And they were taken care of by the nanny processors. What? That was a good one. Come on.
I'm not gonna give that to you.
Yes,
Like,
you
I
are.
refuse. Oh, dude, it had MMS.
That's because the daddy processor got cigarettes and never came back.
in the milk. Oh yeah, we were joking. What's it like? Was it? We were like, is Jay gonna come back with the milk or what? I wonder if Dad's gone.
That's why we're like, did you defrost the chicken when you came back in?
Jay had to go get new vape juice or whatever it is. Jatman says he's on sub now. Did I see Electroboom at LTX? Yes. I did see Electroboom. I didn't talk to him, but I saw him there, and he didn't zap anyone that I saw. He may have accidentally zapped someone.
As if he just like carries around a Tesla coil everywhere. Actually, you know, I wouldn't put it past him.
His unibrow is just as majestic in person as it is on camera, though.
Dude, he needs to do a video with like how much static electricity can he generate off his unibrow.
Oh yeah, what kind of arcing can he get? Did you guys do any FTFM stuff?
No.
Oh yeah, I didn't know like how to access that part, so I figured you.
gmail.com and it goes right to it.
Oh yeah.
This computer's
You
only...
usually prep it from your computer over
Yeah.
there, so that's what I
We have
figured.
to just do some live reads now.
Okay.
Oh, that's a big one. Trash.
See, guys, this is why.
I opened it up and it went boom, trash. Am I supposed to read that on the show?
If you guys want to get in on this segment of the show called FTFA from the freaking audience, email us at...
I wonder how many emails we can get right now. I'm reading the emails right
Yeah,
now.
it's literally open right now.
It's rtfm@JayzTwoCents.com.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get your... This might be the first time you guys can actually get your comment read live. And even if it's degrading and it's about me, I might read it. If it's about Phil or Nick, I'm guaranteed to read it.
No.
Just kidding. Keep it nice.
No, he's not.
It's got to be something fun and interesting.
RTFM at JayzTwoCents.com. We should just start like a 5-minute timer. We'll be taking questions for 5 minutes.
Mom, can you come pick me up?
No, you should email that to RTFM. Mom, can you come pick me up?
The subject of this one. Should I wait or upgrade? Yes.
The problem is you didn't say their names, so no one's gonna know. They're not gonna know which one.
But that's probably accounting for a majority of the questions.
You're right. Yeah.
So you might as well just blanket reply to that.
Hey, here's one for Phil and I. Sorry, Nick.
Can I use the restroom though?
Do you really have to go?
Yeah.
Why did you ask?
No.
May you use
What is this? Is this like a class?
I'm going to use the restroom. You guys don't have a say in this. Okay?
Do you know how stupid saying "may you" sounds?
Yeah. It sounds
May you use the restroom?
May I?
I edited it.
I don't know. Can you?
Dang it, Nick. The lights turned on. Okay, so this was from Tyler Barthlow. He said, it was really cool seeing Jay and Phil filming at Indianapolis Micro Center. I was just curious to hear about how you both felt filming in front of a live audience and if you look forward to doing stuff like that in the future. It's not the first time I've done it. It might be one of the first times you've been a part of that, though, right?
No, I've done Micro Center stuff with crowds.
But with a full-on crowd watching?
Yeah, and also the garage sale for sure.
Yeah, that's a little different though. We weren't there to make a video. It's just we ended up making a video because 3,000 people showed up.
But I mean, to me, it's just the same as filming.
It's more fun.
Yeah, because
obviously.
you get that live back and forth of the audience laughing.
So we're editing the video right now. Phil's editing the video right now. There'll be one going live on Austin's channel and one going live on our channel. It's just our two perspectives of our little Scrapyard Wars kind of a build off we did. But it was funny because as I'm listening to you edit it, when something funny is said, I'm like, there's a laugh track.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a live
Today's episode was filmed in front of a live studio audience. I think we should edit that. I should give you a voiceover.
Yeah, totally.
Today's video was today's video was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right as the logo crosses. Whoosh, today's video was filmed in front of
The funny thing is the first half of the video, there is no audience.
I know, right?
Because it was before the store opened.
Yeah.
Oh, the emails are coming in very quickly now.
Wow, it's real. There's people out there.
So this one comes from that guy. I can't pronounce his name. Jaling?
It's probably like Chaling or something.
Jaling? Question.
TJALLIN.
Oh wait, that he's not a today. He's technically a today question. But what did I click on?
How did you end up at Microsoft Start?
I don't know.
I didn't know that was a website.
Question for RTFM and tools. What is a tool that you guys thought you would use all the time, or turned out you only did a handful of times? Nick. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We love Nick. Oh, come back. Come back. He was walking in. That's why I said it, because he was walking in behind the camera.
That's their friendship.
I've known Nick a long time, okay?
Yeah.
Nick, is there a tool? Is there a tool that we got and we're like, this is so cool, but then we've like never used it?
Any of the power equipment that was used to build the second set.
All the woodworking stuff? Yeah. Because we've torn all that down.
Oh, yeah, and the paint sprayer.
Because I lost the nozzle the day I used it. It got flushed down the toilet.
No, you flushed the nozzle? You didn't lose it?
In that bathroom?
That's why it doesn't work.
Wow.
I mean, that might not be why, but like, 'cause didn't it work for a little bit after?
No, it worked great until that. And then it got worse. And then I think whatever like partial blockage that thing was causing has now turned into a full blockage.
Because of the sand that got put into
the dirt because somebody stole the water valve off the building, and then a bunch of dirt made its way into our plumbing, and then the whole building was jacked. Like, we came to work and we were like, there's no water. We literally can't poop. Okay, let's make a video and get out of here.
Yeah.
That was for like days. We couldn't do that.
Yeah, it was like almost a whole week. It was ridiculous.
All right, so we've got not that many emails. Enough to. Ogre says, Jay, you look like a ghost. Fix it. I already said that.
He needs to go to the beach.
Go touch some sand.
Here, I'll go like take the iris down.
Well, that's too big of a question. Where are you going? Oh, you're changing the suggestion for a third PC. Get a third one. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I don't have friends, family set up, and now extra computers, not using them. What's a good thing to do with this third PC? I'd play around with VMs or a server. Yeah, a server.
Yeah.
Right? What did you just do?
What?
I know, I heard a crash.
No, I almost knocked over the light.
This one just says LTX 2023 from Jack as the subject. He says, any LTX experiences?
I didn't go.
Me? None.
I want to go. I want to go next year for sure, though.
No, this is one that I've told this story a couple times, actually, in the meet and greet. I got to meet several hundred people in the meet and greets, 2 meet and greets, right? I got to say this somewhat delicately because I don't want people to think, like, when I've told this story to other people, their response is like, what the frick? Like, why would he say that to you? But I believe he was autistic because he came up to me and he waited in line. He walked right up to me. He goes, hey, are you autistic? And I went, I don't think so. Right. I said, I know I have ADHD.
Yeah.
I know I have a spoonerism, which is like the speaking version of dyslexia, but I don't think I'm autistic. And he was just like, oh, okay, cool. And then took a picture and he was like, all right, I love your stuff. And then kind of off he went. And I got the feeling that he was high functioning autistic.
Yeah. And he was probably like wondering.
But that was, of all the people I met, that was my most memorable interaction because it means I somehow connected with this fella. Like, whether he thought I was autistic or not or whatever, something about my channel connects with him. Mm. And I thought that was actually awesome that this person waited in line just to ask me that because he wanted to see if there was a connection there. But, you know, what's funny is, like, I told that story to a few people, and some of my closest friends were like, yeah, you might be, actually, you know.
Yeah.
But, no, it's funny because I'm not the kind of person that like the autistic guy we met at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
I would not have guessed that he was.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell.
And then I told you it was funny because when he dropped the mask on accident, both of us immediately went for it, but then he grabbed it and he was like, sorry, autism. And then and like in my head, I was like, yeah, no, I get it. Because like, it's that compulsion of like, this is wrong, I need to fix this.
But the thing is, there's so many, back in the day, and I say back in the day, even like probably 10 or 15 years ago,
it used to be so
autism
negative.
was like yes or no.
Yeah.
We know so much more about autism today. In terms of, that's why it's spectrum now, right?
Yep.
There's a whole spectrum of autism, and it's where do you land on that? Because growing up, I knew people that were completely incapable of having a conversation.
Like, he says, my wife says people with ADHD are dietism.
Dietism?
Yeah, instead of regulartism.
Oh,
I know enough that I am beyond diet.
I'm like in between. Maybe I'm like Coke Zerotism or something.
No, I'm like Mountain
you're
Dewtism.
like White Claw, dude. You're on something. Okay.
No, I'm
Claw-tism.
But no,
I'm that gamer fuel Mountain Dew.
But honestly, though, I think we all know so much more about autism.
Yeah.
And other. I don't even know what to call it.
Like the granularity of it is a whole new concept.
But the thing
you
is,
said
like,
it was so binary before. It was so yes or no.
Our parents probably are all of the generation that felt like autism is a disability, ADHD is a disability, ADD is a disability, OCD is a disability. But today, I think most people operate on the assumption that these are technically superpowers as far as I'm concerned. Because we've all heard of or seen someone that might be incapable of speaking with the type of autism that they have. Mm-hmm. But they could hear Chopin once and play it 95% note perfect. It's like that's not a disability. That is a superpower as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's almost like the general sentiment around it is that it's just a mental difference as opposed to a disability. Like the approach angle is different.
I've said this a million times. I think what's the statistic? We all use like less than
10% or whatever.
Is it 10? I thought it was like 5.
I think that's like the myth or whatever.
I thought it was 5 or 10% of our actual brain capacity. I sometimes feel like those that are on either autism spectrum or have, like myself, tapped into ADHD and turned it into a power of generating what I've created, it's possible that these are people that are functioning on a higher level.
Yeah.
That almost makes it a little bit, their awkwardness is because we're not in the same wavelength as them.
Yeah.
But I also think with the imperfections of our brain, we all are on the spectrum somewhere. It's just now the imperfections of the human mind have a name.
It was funny, like social dynamics and stuff for me was a really hard thing until I decided, what if I tackle it like a computer problem? And then it was just like, okay, these are the things that I need to learn to get better at. And then I made an effort to be able to interact with people and stuff. Because dude, if this was like 20 years ago, like when I was a kid, like I would be terrified with a crowd like that, dude.
Well, here's the
like
thing.
Just interacting.
Are you
with
talking about the
like
Micro Center stuff?
Yeah, or just any sort of like that.
Now,
sort of like
now blow that up to
interaction.
LTX when I'm on stage doing keynotes with Linus and other folks, and it's standing room only, and there's probably 2,000 people watching.
Yeah.
I used to get paralyzing stage fright having to do a book report in front of my class of 28 people that I knew.
Same.
But now it's like I thrive on getting up in front of a crowd. When I get up on stage, I'm probably more calm than when I'm like walking around.
I wonder if is it because you realize over time that like there are people that are on your wavelength and that there's so many of them that are on your wavelength? Is that what kind of helped with the fear? Or
I honestly think
I'm just like throwing it out there because I'm curious now.
No, this is a good question because we all have talked about how social media and comments on YouTube and stuff can beat people down. But
yeah,
that's a byproduct of the positive stuff I see and read, where it's like, okay, I thought about it to myself. I'm going up there to do the Family Feud show, or I'm going up there to do let's talk about paid reviews need to stop, that kind of thing. It's like all these people are sitting here because they're interested in what we have to say. Not everyone is there to see me. Not everyone's there to see Linus. Not everyone's there to see Ian or whoever else was on panel with us. But everyone as a collective was there to see and hear what the group had to say.
Oh, so it's that realization of like, oh, these people are here because they want to be
somewhere
here.
else right now in this expo. Yeah. But they are here because they want to hear what we have to say.
Yeah.
Right? So I just kind of feed off that energy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That is kind of like what I've had to, especially when I'm struggling with like the imposter syndrome a lot.
Yeah,
it's like reminding myself that like, no, these people are out here and they love what we do.
The more successful a person becomes, it doesn't matter what level you're at, whether it's your level, my level, Linus's level, or like Elon Musk's level. Imposter syndrome is a real success, and imposter syndrome go hand in hand.
Yeah. And for the chat, the 10% thing, like, take it with a grain of salt because it's
how do you measure? It's like measuring how much the eye can really see.
It's mostly a myth because if you used 100% of your brain, that's called a grand mal seizure. because all the neurons are firing, right?
You're right.
So,
yeah, I never thought of it that way.
so like you can't ever.
I don't want to use all my brain. You know what? I do not use most of my brain, and I refuse to use most of my brain from now on. Okay.
You use 1 extra %, you have a seizure. You're like, oh man, what the heck? I thought it was good.
But it's just funny. Like often, it's like if I could go back and talk to high school me, who would literally be shaking at the knees, barely able to speak in front of 20 kids I knew. Maybe it's because they were kids, and kids are assholes, right? But well, so are some of the viewers, to be honest. But I digress. I digress.
They're still kids, which makes them still assholes.
I digress. What are you looking for?
An escape?
Oh, that's a concrete wall. You're not going through that.
There's a window behind it.
Oh my God.
To go from that paralyzing fear, though, to I absolutely love public speaking. Like, I love being on stage talking. And it doesn't matter if I'm on stage with other people or just myself, like TED Talk style. Mm-hmm. I love public speaking. And I can't tell you when and where along the way that became a thing until one day I realized, like, oh my God, I'm so looking forward to this speech or whatever I'm doing. I'm like, that's weird, you know?
Yeah.
And then when it's over, I'm like, oh, I want to go again.
I wonder if it's like the switch from like constantly worrying about what you're going to do versus now you're feeding off external energy. Because like you said, right, like you like to feed off of that crowd energy because it's real reactions and stuff. And so you're not worrying about you because now that, you know, you've gotten to a point where like the energy is what fuels
The most
you.
humbling thing is to, you know, be at a place like LTX and you know that your meet and greet time is coming up and you're hanging out in the green room area, kind of trying to decompress as much as possible. Because is there anyone in chat that was at LTX and waited and met me in the meet and greet? Push 1 if you legitimately were there, because I want to give you what it's like from my perspective. It's very humbling to walk out of the curtain, up to the little table, and you got your water and your Sharpies, and Linus has a handler for every meet and greet station that's helped make sure that the line is moving and stuff. But to see like all these people are there waiting to see you, and you walk out, they start cheering. I'm like, that's weird, because I'm used to being kind of like booed in life, if you will.
That's so sad.
I know, but it's true,
know,
right?
yeah.
We all like to focus and hyper focus on negativity.
Yep.
But LTX is such a reset on the button of like, those people making hateful, stupid comments are absolutely not worth your time, because these 5,000 people that showed up, and probably even if they're not a fan of you, everyone in this room knows who you are. It's a humbling experience to have the amount of people telling you how much they are just, and not taking away anything from Linus. Linus has 15.5 million subscribers. He's clearly a much bigger personality than I am. But the amount of people that told me, they're like, hey, I didn't wait in line to see Linus, but I waited in line to see you. I'm like, that is super cool for me. Linus is a friend of mine, so don't put him down, because I had a phone call with Linus today, actually, for just something else. But anyway, Linus is a friend. But I'm going to tell you what is extremely humbling, though, and difficult, is initially the timer for the meet and greet was set to 2 minutes. And I was the largest creator there outside of Linus. Like, everyone else had smaller channels. I don't know if Electro Boom's bigger or not, but totally different genre, right? Shocking yourself and blowing things up is, I guess that's kind of what I do.
I mean, Electro Boom is basically, Jay was an electrician instead of a computer builder.
And I know enough to not kill myself, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, I still know enough to not kill myself at the moment.
And you had mega hair genes. only eyebrow genes.
But anyway,
I love Electro Boom.
So it started at 2 minutes. And the thing was, the length of the line versus the amount of time that was slated for me to be there doing the meet and greet. At 2 minutes, I was like, this isn't going to work. So they, on their own, like Linus's people, had realized, like, oh, we need to make the timer faster. They made it 2 minutes, and then a minute, and then 30 seconds. Now, 30 seconds, I felt terrible about the 30 seconds, because I'm like, these people were waiting in line for an hour plus. Yeah. Right? To get 30 seconds to try and say what it is you want to say to someone that might be your only chance to say it, I felt super bad about that. But I also am like, I want to get through the whole line. Yeah. But let me tell you what's very difficult from my side is try having a conversation reset every 30 seconds.
Oh, that's interesting. Right.
Hey, how are you? How are you enjoying the show? What's your favorite part so far? Okay, cool. Hey, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Blah, blah. Of course, I'll sign this for you. Okay, I want to take a picture. Hey, your wife looks very nice. That's probably a weird thing to say right there. But anyway, your wife is like, yeah, of course she can get a picture. Okay, hey. And then the handler's like, okay, time's up. Okay, it was nice to meet you. Hey, how are you? Are you enjoying the show? Yeah, of course I'll sign your thing.
That is weird.
Oh, it is like Groundhog Day, but every 30 seconds. That's why it was actually pretty relieving when I say kid, because he probably was late teens, maybe early 20s. It's hard to tell someone's age by looking at them these days. But they just walked up, hey, how are you? Hey, I have a question for you. Sure. Do you have autism? And I was like, whoa.
Oh, that's why you remembered it, because it was just...
No, because I remembered it because he's the one guy I don't say one. There was probably 5 interactions that I felt like I had a really, like, there was a connection between the viewer and I.
Instead of just like a hi, how are
But that
you?
was the most standout one. It was like, wow, if I'm connecting with people that have autism,
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing. Because what's the number one issue people with autism tend to have? It's social awkwardness, right? And
and then it's a double-edged sword, because with the social awkwardness, then you get shunned because people like...
Yeah, because you're constantly misunderstood.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because autistic people don't, like, they're not trying to be awkward, or they're not trying to offend or, you know, do a faux pas or whatever.
Yeah, it just
comes out incorrect.
You can't
like,
read the room syndrome almost. Like
Yeah,
you there's just a disconnect, you know? But that's why, you know, high functioning autism, it's such a cool thing when I meet people with that. Like the guy at the airport. I know, I love that guy. He was just like all about the plane, because it was only a second time flying.
Yeah.
And the guy was probably in his mid-20s, something like that, flying with his mom, clearly. But he was like super excited to talk about the weather and the airplane and where he was going. And I'm like, this is awesome, you know? Especially since both of my kids are somewhat on the spectrum, you know?
Yeah, there was one of my favorite creators is Kyle Hill. He does a lot of like science education stuff. And he did a video where he just talked about, like, he revealed to everyone that he did have autism, and he talked about why it was his superpower. Like, I think the video is literally called "Autism is my superpower," and then this is why.
And the downside about something like that too is I feel like there's people out there in the world that be like, if you're aware that you have autism, you don't have autism. It's like, that's such bullshit. You know,
I'm aware that I have a heart condition. I don't not have it. Like, what?
You don't not have it.
Oh wow, a lot of emails came in. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were on the FTFA. We got so distracted by that one question.
This one's just from Lonnie. Lonnie, he says tungsten telephone poles from space. That's all it says.
Oh,
but I read it.
Rods from God.
Oh,
that's another.
I read it though.
Yep.
Show question.
I'll throw that on the list. Rods from God.
I know it's a little bit too long to read for lightning round here.
It was a space-based kinetic railgun system, basically.
That was in a game.
I was wondering if you, Phil, and Nick could be VTubers.
Oh, those are the people that use like a digital avatar instead of themselves on the camera.
Oh,
like, so they'll use VR and or like face tracking stuff, and then usually it's like anime waifus and stuff. But I mean, you know, you can do anything because it's an animation. But
I have me. Why would I do that? Is that for people that maybe are not comfortable being in front of camera?
I think it's just people that just want to play a character, like a completely.
I play a character.
Full on.
I play a somewhat smart guy that can build computers.
I can see it being as both though.
What?
Like playing a character, just like to keep
also,
their anonymity.
Yeah.
Anonymity.
And with friends like these, who need anonymity?
What is SC anonymity?
Okay, so this one's I'll just truncate it. It's from Michael. It says, it's been 2 years since you got your steel case gesture chairs. He wants to know how they're holding up. He's 6'2", 295 pounds. So when Jay said how much he loved the chair, I really thought about picking one up. I'm 270, by the way. Ours at the office here, other than the fact we had to tighten up the headrest.
Yeah, just have to tighten up the headrest. They're still comfy.
It's still my favorite chair ever.
Yeah.
The one I have at home it's making some popping, like pop, pop, creak, creak. Like, there's ways you can service it. I just don't know how. It needs it. But I also have a lot more of a dust problem at home than I do here.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of structure, though.
Maybe you also like
I sit the most
weird at home.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because like I've seen you recline at work, but like I've never, you know, at home you can super mega recline. There's whole different. Maybe you're sideways. What? Why are you looking at me? Gross. Wait, what? What does it say? Oh, gross.
It just said wink at Phil, but don't say anything.
Brendan Lapointe, gross. It literally just said wink at Phil, don't say anything.
We're a little over on time, but it's fine. I don't have to go to the gym, so we can go until we're ready to stop.
Yeah.
Hey, if the WAN show can be 4 hours now, then we can be 2.
Oh, we're getting the extended edition today?
Adrian says, you guys are awesome. Love this episode. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're awesome too. Badger Hound says, sound cards. Is there a place for a distinct sound card in a build? Or are their onboards just good enough? Usually onboards are good enough these days.
Yeah, and there's like sound cards don't do anything to separate themselves from onboard. Like besides like, here's virtual surround, but you can just buy the Dolby app and get virtual surround.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
So this one comes from They Call Me Tree. Oh, he's been on here before. It says, what is one music album that you would consider unskippable?
Oh, like you have to listen to it in one
all
go.
the way through.
Yeah.
Blink-182's Enema of the State.
Yeah.
And probably Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory.
Yeah.
Well.
Me and Nick are going to be on the same exact wavelength for that because, yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever listened to an album from beginning to end. To be honest.
They probably.
I was definitely in the mixtape era.
I think so, yeah. I was going to say, I think it's literally just like a function of the generation. Like it was more about singles and individual songs.
This one comes from Yunsun. He says, when are you guys going to set up some sim races for the community to take part in?
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, it'd be.
The thing is, like, Nick has a sim rig at home. I have a sim rig at home. Phil does not. He would have to be here.
Yeah, I could. I have a car. I can drive the car here.
He's gonna
drive the car here to drive
I have
the
a real
fake
car. I got my own pants. I've got a.
I can drive my real car here to drive the fake car with you guys.
Yeah, and then when you go to drive home, you're gonna be flooring it everywhere, like when you leave the go-kart track.
Dude, yeah. When we set up my friend's sim rig and everything too, because we played for like a good 4 hours straight, right? And then after I got my car, I was just like, oh my god, it feels so slow. Because I'm used to a group.
He drives a hybrid, guys.
Yeah. It has all of 100 horsepower, maybe.
This comes from Stefan. He says, from Sweden. Actually, he says, from Sweden.
Yeah.
Caps.
From Sweden.
He says, this is a thanks. A question for you all. Best game right now that you are playing? Diablo 4. I'm really enjoying Diablo 4.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, surprisingly. I bought it on a whim, and I was like, because I was interested in the direct storage
Ratchet and
stuff.
Clank?
Yeah. I was interested in the direct storage stuff, and visually, dude, oh my god, that game, surprisingly is one of the best games that I've seen, visual-wise. It just looks like a Pixar movie.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a PlayStation franchise, like a platformer, kind of like Crash Bandicoot. But
Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
What about you?
BattleBit remastered.
Nick's still on BattleBit.
Sorry, I'm on that. That's fun. That's my current favorite.
To be honest, if there's ever different types of games I just want to try, I just need to take my kids' advice because my daughter plays so many just random games.
Oh, she's like Nick, where remember that one time, there was a good 2 or 3 months where every time
playing Maneater.
No, just at the office, every time we'd look over, Nick was playing some other new indie game, and I was just like,
I would look over and he's snowboarding. Look back an hour later, he's a shark eating people.
Yeah.
Look over again, he's playing Rocket League. I'm like, what?
But it was just
ADD.
I'm gonna come to Nick if I want to find out new games because Nick plays all of them.
I gotta narrow down my backlog though, because I still have Uncharted and I have Horizon Zero Dawn. I still want to play those. games.
Wow, you saw it?
Yeah, and I impulse bought Spyro Trilogy. So
I can beat that. That's nothing.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. I still have an unopened, never played Xbox. Not the current one, the Series S. What's the one before that? After 360, Xbox One.
Xbox One.
Yeah, Xbone.
Not the original Xbox One.
I have an unopened Xbox 360 Dying Light 1
Holy shit.
that I intended to open and play, that I never opened and played.
Funny.
So my first introduction to Dying Light was Dying Light 2 on PC.
Yeah, I remember you playing that.
Yeah.
You bought it and you
I never played it.
Congrats.
Sick. I was about to freak out though if you were gonna say something like Orange Box or something, or like Halo or something.
So I've got a really important message from Damir. He says, "Hi everybody, all the love from Croatia." That's it.
Thanks for the love.
This one's from Your Daily Brexit Salad.
What?
No.
Oh boy.
He says, "Best and worst Need for Speed games." Best was Hot Pursuit. Hot Pursuit, the first one, is the best in my opinion.
I would have to say Most Wanted, the first one, is my favorite.
I never played Most Wanted.
Yeah, I feel like Most Wanted and Hot Pursuit are going to be high up on everyone's list.
Hot Pursuit was fun.
Yeah.
I just loved playing the M Roadster. I just had a beefed up M Roadster that I just loved in that game.
Best for me would be Underground 2 with Most Wanted as a runner-up.
See, I bought Underground, and I was like, ugh, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Meanwhile, me is like, wow, I'm gonna revolve my life around this for the rest of my life.
Dude, my MySpace profile picture was a picture of me photoshopped against the R34 that I had in Underground 1.
Dude.
But I played it on PC. I was still a PC gamer back then. I refused to play it on console. I was like, no, it looks better on my computer.
Worst Need for Speed would be Need for Speed Undercover.
Yeah. I was going to say Unbound.
I'm laughing because this is from Plex Luthor. It's just a GIF that says, suck it.
It's a GIF.
It's just driving by saying, suck it. That's not even a question.
It's from Plex Luthor.
It's just a GIF saying, suck it.
The evil version of the server. That's funny.
Plex Luthor.
Like Underground, I mean, yeah, Most Wanted was fun in its own way, but I was transitioning from running from cops a lot, like to just like free roaming and having fun.
In Hot Pursuit, I liked being the cops.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Because all you had to do was be able to stop them for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
That just became burnout to me.
But the thing was, I always played as the cop, and I was always in a 4th gen Camaro.
Wow.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
you would.
Because they had the B4C like cop edition stuff.
Did you guys ever play Burnout 3 and like Burnout Revenge, like those ones?
I have Burnout 2.
Oh.
Okay. But I've never played Burnout 3.
3 Takedown was the best. Revenge was a really good runner-up for it. But yeah,
I
those
think
are
you're right. The Most Wanted did start leaning towards the burnoutiness, which I
With,
liked.
like,
but
takedowns. I like the whole cinematic crash escapes, like when you hit the object, like the giant donut.
What's funny is my favorite driver game though to this day people can't even buy. It's Driver San Francisco. That was a fun game. It was basically like
and it's just in licensing hell right now. So that
it was like Midtown Madness but bigger.
Yeah,
you guys remember Midtown Madness? Midtown Madness was a driving game.
I remember it, but I don't.
Based in
think
Chicago.
That makes sense.
Welcome to the Windy City. Like anyway, Midtown Madness was just like a checkpoint kind of a racing game, but you could also sandbox, just drive around and jump the bridges, like because the rivers through Chicago, the bridges go up, right? You can jump them and stuff. Yeah. So, but Driver San Francisco was like a bigger version of that with better graphics and a story. Basically, the story is like...
And the story is like...
Weird.
Full-on crackhead.
Yes.
Like how did they come up with this, like, writing?
I like the very first time you're out of body, he's like, he's all screaming.
Because the only Driver I played was 1 and 2. And then so, and a little bit of Driver 3, but I didn't own an Xbox back then, so I couldn't play it. But like, yeah, and then I see Jay playing Driver San Francisco.
And I'm flying.
Yeah, and I had no context. And he's, like, looking down at the world. And he's like, whoa, what is this?
That's the NPC saying that, not me, but
yeah, and I'm like, what? That's Driver?
Yeah, you die.
Yeah.
You die, but you can plop your conscious into other people.
Yeah.
So it's funny how like you can pop out because you're a detective in the game, right? But you can pop out and just be like, I want to go in that person's car. So you don't go in the car as you freaking whoop into their body.
It's
so
surprisingly, basically, it's like a Matrix agent simulator.
There was one time I popped in. It's like Grand Theft Auto 5. If you listen to the radio station, it's the funniest stuff, right? Yeah. But I popped into a car and I was like, and I'm driving and then. I look to the right, and the passengers, and another thing. So I always think it's funny when, and it's like a wife that's just going off on you. I was like, and then I was like, right out of the car.
You left that guy back to his wife. You're like,
I did.
That's on you.
I was like, Yeah.
Let me borrow your body for a sec. Actually, you know what? No, I'm good.
Yeah, it's just I teleported into a guy that was just getting reamed by his wife. I was like, I'm out.
That sentence out of context, guys.
Wow. This is from Adam. He says, "You guys are great," and then the body of the message is poop.
Well, it was short and concise.
That's
you requested.
That is what I've always asked for.
I love our audience.
ChatGPT has responded.
Dustin Phillips says, how do you think bring car guys has influenced your approach to computer? How do you think being car guys has influenced your approach to computer builds?
If I mess something up, I have to know enough to undo the mess up.
I don't think being a car guy has really influenced my builds.
I think it does a little bit in that, like, since you're already an enthusiast of something else, it kind of, you're more in tune with looking at aesthetics, kind of considering them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because, like, you know, if somebody's not into something that involves that.
You're right. Being a car guy is the only reason why I would care about the way the computer looks as much as how it performs.
Right. And, like, wiring and stuff. And, yeah.
Edgar says, taco meat. Favorite taco meat? Mine's al pastor with onion and cilantro and green sauce. What's el pastor? It's kind of chicken, isn't it?
Where
they slice it off. I don't know if I've actually had that. to be honest. I mean, I've been to like Brazilian barbecue and stuff where they do that, but never like Mexican tacos and stuff.
Get your bulletproof vessels. Go to LA.
Yeah.
Or San Diego.
Oh, you can go right here. We can go right here.
I might have to have I might have to have a toilet nearby. Yeah,
Honestly, the carne asada.
I would say
like
either carne
easiest.
asada. I'm also
Some lime, onions, cilantro, done, and red salsa.
what's pork?
Carnitas.
Yeah, carnitas. Yeah. I had to say it the right way.
Carnitas.
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 I like carnitas.
Carnitas.
Sounds like a disease.
It was funny. So
you
this
have
is gonna sound super like bad for a white guy, but I'll say it anyway. So for 4th of July, you know that my neighborhood has a big block party.
Yeah.
And you know my house is right next to the park and all the easy up set up and stuff. Anyway, they always the community always has a taco vendor come and set up all the tables and like cook the real street tacos, like Mexican street
when they're
tacos.
making the tortilla there.
Yeah. Real street tacos. Anyway, so you had to buy a wristband and go get your food and stuff. Anyway, I went there and I was like, dos carnitas y uno pollo, por favor. She's like, so 2 pork, 1 chicken? Bro, I was like, I was just trying to do it right, okay?
You were trying.
She was like, so 2 pork, 1 chicken.
Dude, my mom does that all the time too, and I'm just like, just stop, just say anything.
But I sounded like when Gabriel Iglesias says how a white person sounds speaking. Excuse me, por favor.
Favor.
I think that was me.
Dos carnitas y uno pollo. Por favor.
That was like me in Taiwan. Like I started picking up people were saying thank you by saying "shei shei."
Yeah.
And like
You're
eventually,
like, Shia,
Dude.
Shia.
yeah.
All you have to do is watch Nickelodeon to pick that up.
Yeah, but like even like to taxi drivers, I would say like "shei shei," like thank you. But eventually, just like yo, thanks.
Yeah.
Just get faulted. Like if I'm gonna embrace the tourism, I might as well just be like full tourist. Like I've tried, but it doesn't feel like.
Most of them don't say anything back though.
Yeah.
Like when you'd say "shei shei," they're just like,
The same thing happened to me in Japan. I said something, and then they said something back in English, and I was like, oh, you speak English? And they're like, I wanted to practice it. And I was like, oh, I wanted to practice Japanese. So we were just both speaking in non-native languages for some reason.
So you're speaking broken Japanese,
Yeah,
he's
they're
responding in
speaking-
English.
Yeah.
I feel like when they don't respond though, I feel like I got an F on the language test.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because Taiwan people are very friendly.
They are.
They're very friendly. So that's why like you and I, we got "shei shei," and
I'm like,
You're like,
was that a C?
is it more of a
man.
she or a shay?
Yeah,
What
like-
did you say? Did you say bye-bye? I don't know. But yeah, anyway. Oh, and then we would say ni hao, stuff like that. But like we would walk, you and I would walk into those little hole in the wall restaurants. Ni hao, that one.
Order by picture.
Order by picture.
Number 4. And then they would respond back like natively, just speaking. They're like confirming like that one. Yeah. Shay shay. And then we're leaving.
that was
Like
the
that's all we could say.
That was like the first time in the Starbucks. Like, do you have whipped cream? And
Oh yeah, he was just like, as long as I stayed on the menu, he was fine.
Yeah.
I was like, because at the time I was like, upside down iced caramel macchiato
with whipped cream.
right. So I was like, I said.
Trying to explain
I said I
that.
would like a venti upside down iced caramel macchiato, and he's like, "Do-do-do." And I said with whip, and he was like,
With what?
Nick was like, at that point we were like, we were good to this point. I said whipped cream. He was like, whipped cream.
Yeah, like he's probably thinking like,
And I was
you're,
like,
beating a cow.
And I was thinking it's weird because
like, why would you beat up a cow?
no, I was thinking it's weird because whipped cream is a menu item, but they know how to make the drink based by name, but there's no whipped cream in the name of any drink.
Yeah.
Right. So we were pointing to the sign like whipped cream, and he was like, dude, remember that one? It was like out the top. He was like, I was like, oh, stop. That was pretty funny though, because we both learned something that day.
That's funny.
As long as I ordered a drink exactly as it says it on the menu, we were good. But past that, if I ventured off the menu, it was an adventure for both of us.
That's why, like, I made it a point when I was like learning just enough Japanese to be functional in Japan. Like, was just like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese. Was like one of the first phrases. Nihongo hanasemasen, because it's just like
I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Because then they understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
Because if you're just continually both speaking two
Did I ever
languages.
tell you?
It's just
Did I ever tell you the story of like, so growing up we had a lot of exchange students, a lot of Japanese exchange students, and Japanese exchange students for the program was like a 3 or 4 week stay, like a short duration.
Yeah.
Whereas we also had long term, like the full school year exchange students from like Germany and Switzerland and stuff like that. But one of the very first Japanese exchange students that we had, his name was Yoshimitsu, which to me was just like, Yoshi, right?
Or the coolest Tekken character ever.
Yeah. But his name was Yoshimitsu, which I thought was, as a 13-year-old, which is what I was 13 at the time, I thought that was incredibly like common. Like, oh, Yoshimitsu, like everyone's a Yoshimitsu, right? Whatever. But anyway,
like a John.
yeah. We pick him up from the airport and stuff, and he gets in the car. He's all excited. He's got his like really thick like Japanese to English dictionary, and he could speak very broken basic English enough to be like, I am thirsty.
Yeah.
I need bathroom.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're driving, and we're like, oh, let's go to Big Bear. Let's go to Big Bear. We were like, do you want to go to Big Bear? He's like,
Yeah, sure, I guess. I don't know.
there was a lot of like, there was a lot of you talk to him. He's like,
Yeah.
I was looking through the book to figure out what we're saying and what he wants to say. So anyway, he would tell us too, like, oh, book. Like he wanted us to point to the word that we are trying to say so he could see the Japanese word. There was a lot of like, yeah. A lot of slow communication,
Yeah.
but communication nonetheless. Ironically, at the end of the 3 weeks, he could almost speak to us. Like
You get
the
you
rate
get-
at which
yeah.
he learned was like, oh my
It's so
gosh.
fun. Like I always
Because he was a high school kid.
Yeah, like I always joke about how I used to speak fluent Spanish when I was working in a restaurant, and then I don't now because I just
That was very utilitarian Spanish, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But still. So we were like, let's go to Big Bear, right? That's the mountain over there. And he was like, okay, sure. We're going up the mountain. We're driving
I remember
along.
this story, yeah.
We're driving along, and then we just hear, he goes, and he would call, they were told, like, call the host parents, mother and father, right?
Yeah.
He was like, Faza. He's like, my dad was like, yes. He goes, I feel car. And we're all like,
Oh.
I feel car. The heck? He's like, I feel car. And we're like, I don't know what this means. And he was like, sick. I feel car sick. And we're like, oh. The dad pulls off our sick. He gets it all polite. He's like, thank you. I was like, I have never seen such polite throwing up before. But he was just, it was like a sitcom.
That's
We're just
funny.
like, I feel car.
Does it reveal the second page?
That's
Yeah, he
awesome.
was like, oh, sick. He even looked pale, like super pale. We were
Oh,
just like,
yeah.
and he was in the it was a minivan. He was in the very far back, and I was in the middle seat. So I was just like,
that's
I'll
probably
hold the
why.
seat down.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was, I just launched my phone over here.
How?
It can stay on the floor. It's fine. I don't want it.
You're gonna roll over it.
I broke the tape. I gotta fix.
Roll over your phone.
I gotta fix that. There we go.
Jay ripped our carpet.
I ripped the tape, not the carpet. Okay. This is from Richard. He says, I was helping out clean up the EK booth after LTX, and you stopped by and let me take a picture. Just want to say thanks. Well, you're welcome, and I'm sorry for your lens to be inconvenienced for that moment.
He's still replacing the filters.
Yeah, to replace the sensor.
A J face shaped hole in the sensor.
Zachary says, out of curiosity, what is your least favorite part of building computers? Everybody focuses on the best part, but never the worst part. Cheers. Some more whiskey for all of us on medicine that keeps us sober. I'm not taking any more because I need to drive in a little while. But
Cheers.
Least favorite part?
OS setup.
Probably the after the build.
The
right?
after the build, yeah.
For me, honestly, it's the cable management.
Yeah, I would say it's cable management for me.
Like
as
it's a necessary evil.
It
as
has
far
to
as
be
I'm
done.
concerned.
Otherwise, I will hate it later.
It's funny because the cable management to me is the opposite. That's when I
cathartic.
zone out. Yeah, that's when I zone out and I just turn do not disturb on and then I.
Do you guys want to know? I spent 5 hours today organizing screws. So
if you needed any more signs.
So if you want to know why I walked in here, which is like blah 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 blah, glug, 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 is I spent 5 hours organizing screws, and then I had my mid-year tax meeting with my CPA, and then walked onto the show. So
today's been a weird day.
if that doesn't make sense, after being up at 4:10 and then at the gym at 5, so today's been all kinds of like, what year is it? Insert Jumanji gif here, right?
The irony, you organized all your screws, but then it made more screws loose.
You said cable management's your least favorite too?
Yeah.
Oh.
But like you said, I know it has to be done.
I feel like cable management is one of those, like, either you love it or hate it type things, because in chat, that's the same thing. I just saw cable management is the worst. Cable management is easy. So,
There's two kinds of people.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be either one or the other. And,
Joseph says, can you please build a complete custom loop setup in a Corsair 5000T? I'm a very huge fan, and I watch every single video multiple times. Thank you for the views, but it would be the same as any 5000 PC. 5000D, 5000X, 5000T.
Oh, yeah, because
they're all the same interior. Yeah.
It's just a rectangle instead of a rectangle.
So technically, I've already done it. I've already done videos. In fact, that's a fully water-cooled 5000 build right in front of us. I know he can't see it. Actually, Origin built that one, but anyways. This one says, it's from Mail. Look, M-A-I-L. It's from Mail.
They like never filled out their name in the email client. It just says
How about
Mail.
a shout-out for the Willow Springs race crew? Lego Man.
Nice.
That doesn't say Mail. Lego Man, Mail.
Willow Springs Race Crew.
Huh?
The Willow Springs Race Crew?
Apparently.
Like the people that work it?
I'm down. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for service.
Salute to
Thanks
you.
for working those corner stations when it's like 110 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I've been there with you guys. It's filming for sure.
This is another comment I got a lot in the line at LTX, by the way, the meet and greet line. This is from Erica. She says, hi there. I know nothing about computers, but my boyfriend loves watching your videos and lives. Oh, and lives. And I think you guys are hilarious. See? The boys come for the tech. The girls stay for us. Yeah.
Why did you have to say for us?
I don't know. No, there was actually a couple of people, by people I mean like females, that stayed in line at the meet and greet just to meet me, to take a photo for their boyfriend or husband or whatever that had to work. I'm like, wait, how did they rope you in to standing in line to meet someone you don't care about? I told one girl, I said, dang, that's love right there.
Yeah, he's
I was like, that's love. Sure. And then I did the Keanu Reeves, like the hovering.
He like pointing it out to. Yeah. See?
There is light between the shoulder and my hand right here.
That's funny.
This one comes from Matt. He says, hey, thanks for doing what you guys do. You make it fun and easily accessible for everyone and lay it all down in a way that even an admitted dumbass can understand. Well, it takes one dumbass to speak dumbass to dumbasses, okay?
And we have 3 of them here. It's great.
He says he's listening to this while building his new PC and loves every moment. P.S. I can't wait to meet Nick's mom.
What?
See, you see that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
I didn't type it. It also says sent from my iPhone.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He is. He's literally building a PC, and there we are.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was when Nick wasn't there. I'm like, where's Nick? He's not even in the picture. That's when he went to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
So now we know how long ago
my mother when I was out?
No, apparently he's got your mom on his mind, though.
Oh.
She's a very nice lady.
She is.
She's a saint. This guy says,
Dorothy Mantooth is
yeah. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the NR200P water-cooled build. He has the same chassis.
Nice.
Let's see. Greetings from Germany. Hello. Oh, is this about the canceled 4090 Ti? That's what that looks like. That's that 4090 Ti.
Oh, yeah.
With that middle fan thing?
Yeah, the crazy, freaking insane glue.
How many watts was that one going to be? All 600?
I know, right?
Yes.
What is your opinion on possibly upcoming 4090 Ti with the brick cooler or the built-in fan? It's my understanding that it was canceled, but I don't know. We don't have a 4080 Ti yet, right? We don't have a 4080 Ti, do we?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's 4070 Ti, 4080, 4090.
Maybe NVIDIA is just focusing that hard on AI accelerators. Like
no,
they're really
maybe they know that if their 4060s and stuff aren't selling, how much is a 4080 Ti going to sell? I don't know. That's a weird gap. But we know there's going to be room there for it. Okay, we'll do a couple more questions and we'll go ahead and get on out of here at 4 o'clock. But let's see. Video ideas. Oh, I love when people have ideas. Let's see.
Tell if sarcastic or not.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to respond to this one.
If they're great ideas, it's serious. If they're bad ideas, it's sarcasm. Okay.
Fair enough.
What? Oh, he's asking us. What is a video idea you would each like to do, but isn't feasible to do for a YouTube video due to poor video performance, cost to do, etc.? I don't know. Take a flight to the stratosphere.
It said like fully no cost. Does it still have to do with our normal stuff?
No, just what's something you would want to make a video about, but it's just not feasible for whatever the reason. It won't perform. It costs too much. Whatever.
I mean, Yeah, a Blue Origin ride with all three of us would be insane. Especially because I watched
We somehow have another Blue Origin pull out in front of us because of when you and I are together and like people can't drive for whatever reason.
They just build one real quick and then crash it into ours.
So you guys don't know, Phil and I somehow have some sort of an aura that when we are together in a car, everyone around us forgets how to drive.
It just becomes death race. And it's like, it doesn't matter which one of us is driving, which one of us is passenger. It just becomes death race somehow.
And to the point to where it sounds like we're embellishing. No, it's the fact the day you got sideswiped, we stopped at a red light. We were next to, I looked at him, I was like, get home safe. He's like, okay. 5 minutes later, he sends me a picture. Bro, I just got sideswiped. I was
just because we parked next to each other at the light, and then that was like the universe was like, oh, they're too close together. It's like nuclear reaction.
Not even 5 minutes later, he's like, dude, I got sideswiped, man.
Freaking beat the sideswipe me.
He sends a picture too, and he was like, the worst part too is she was Filipino.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I was like, oh my
I'm
God.
so sorry. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
I can't confirm the bad vibes come with them.
I don't know
when
why.
they're together.
Yeah.
I sent Nick on an errand and he got a ticket.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't want to talk about that.
and the ironic thing is that we all drive slow compared to like
we drive normal.
Yeah, compared to most people, we drive slow. Honestly. Yeah.
Gas ain't cheap.
Yeah, poor you.
All my cars take 91.
I know.
Have you considered a Honda Civic?
Have I what?
Have you considered a Honda Civic?
No, I've never considered it.
I can't imagine Jane Honda Civic.
Right?
It's just so not the car.
Brad Kaiser says, if you're not even forklift certified, are you even a man? Asking for a friend.
Boom.
I am forklift certified, by the way. This hasn't been renewed, but when I used to deliver tires, cherry picker, man lift, and a forklift. All 3 certs. Boom. Eat it. No, wait, that suck it gift. Suck it.
Man lift.
Man lift.
I know, that's funny.
The scissor lift, the man lift.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They have lesbian lifts and then male lifts.
That's the scissor lift.
Yeah.
Wow, let's show it off the rails real quick. Demonetized.
Yeah.
Demonetized.
I saw a tweet earlier that was like, if this is a pair of scissors, what's this? And it was 2 scissors. And I was like, a pair of scissors? Oh no. What about 2 pants? Oh no.
Oh no.
Like, we broke English, guys. Like that video you were watching, the bomb. No, this isn't Tom, it's Tomb.
Yeah. And this isn't tomb, this isn't coom, it's comb.
Yeah, and this isn't womb, it's womb.
Yeah, that was Gallagher.
Oh no.
All right, let's see if I can find 1 or 2 more that stand out here. UK visit. Craig Harris says, any plans of visiting the UK? When my daughter graduates high school, we are going to be taking a European vacation. It's going to be like National Lampoon's European vacation if it's knowing my family. No, my daughter really, really, really wants to go to Europe and she wants to tour it. And I was like, well, you're not doing that by yourself. I guess I'll have to twist my arm and go to Europe with you. But anyway, no, she wants to start in the UK. It was actually my idea. She wants to go to the UK, but I was like, let's make a whole thing out of it because she also is learning German. She wants to go to Germany. I said, we'll fly to the UK. We'll start in the UK. We'll go up to Ireland, Scotland, and all that, and see all the castles and stuff because she really wanted to do that. And then we'll take a plane over, boat, whatever, across the English Channel. Probably start in France, go to Paris, work our way up, go into Germany, maybe check out like the Netherlands. I kind of want to go to the Netherlands and go see the Dutch, right? You know, Ensem Schmutzstick.
Oh yeah, the Schmutzstick.
Schmutzstick. I love Ensem, by the way. Anyway, and then from there, work our way east on a train. Like just hop into all the different countries. I want to go to Austria. I want to go to Switzerland. I want to see the Matterhorn. Lots of stuff we want to do. And then when we get to Italy, hop on a cruise ship and take that all the way back to Western Europe again, and then take a flight home.
That'll be sick.
Yeah. So that's but that's like a month.
Oh, you need to FaceTime us when you make it to the Netherlands.
Oh no, Jay's on the Netherlands gummies.
Jay's at a coffee shop in the Netherlands. And he's just like completely passed out.
Oh, no, I'm still panicking hard.
Just eating a chocolate bar like Dr. Evil. Like, this is for all my
There's
homies in Bruges.
trying to calm Jay down.
I'm all pouring one out.
Oh, that'll be great.
Oh, man. All right. I think that's where we're going to go and call it a day. 4:03. What an interesting day. I didn't start it. Did it start okay? Did everything start on time?
Yeah.
Did the recordings?
Yeah.
Wow. Hopefully I remember how to stop it because my brain's thinking start routine right now.
Dude, yeah, don't miss it.
Just do the backwards routine.
I shouldn't have seen it, but
Bye, guys.
I made a horrible mistake.
Yep.
I gotta play us out. We gotta play us out. We
What
gotta
does that mean, to play us out?
There's no words on it.
We'll do it live.
You guys need to look up Bill O'Reilly's "We'll Do It Live" if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
O'Reilly
Auto
tantrum
parts. O'Reilly
tantrum parts.
Anger and rage.
Anger issues.
I'm just waiting for the music to be over so I can hit end stream.
Oh yeah.
How long is this clip?
I thought you usually faded out.
No, I faded.
No.
I faded out when we started. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
All right, guys. We'll
Goodbye.
see you next week.
Later.